Hey everyone, welcome to our first podcast, Jimmy's and Joe's, where we talk about sports, mainly basketball, baseball, hockey, and football. And at the end of our episode today, we'll talk about the college football playoffs and our predictions. So, for the first thing we'll talk about today is basketball. And the question I have today is what is dominance in the NBA and who is the most dominant player right now?
NBA dominance. Well, I mean, Steph Curry is a dominant player in the NBA because of what he does. No one does it.
Yeah.
But I mean, LeBron James is still the most dominant player in the NBA. It's not even
Yeah.
close on all sides.
What would you let's see. So what do you think dominance is then? Just
All
scoring
around
the ball?
basketball player. All around
Okay.
basketball player. You have to be able to. I think LeBron
Cuz
James is the only player in the NBA that can guard all five positions.
that's true. Because people do say, "Oh, Giannis, yeah, he's the most dominant cuz he could just fucking run in the ball, dunk and fucking I don't think that's dominance."
Okay, Victor Wembanyama is then the most dominant player of all time because
Exactly.
he's 7'30",
Yeah,
7 feet freaking tall,
exactly.
and can shoot a three and dunk the basketball from the 3 point line.
Yeah.
That
I
I
think
just because the problem with the NBA and with sports in general is people just care about stats and they don't look and know. There's people talking about the NBA that have no idea what the fuck the NBA is.
yeah.
They have no idea what basketball is. They've never played basketball. I'm not saying I'm some basketball player,
Yeah.
but watching the NBA, which is not a great product anyways because
No.
it's boring,
Yep.
you can watch the last 3 minutes and know what's going to happen in the game. You
Exactly.
don't have to watch the first half at all,
Yeah.
even the third quarter. But LeBron James has been the most dominant basketball player in the last 15 years in the NBA.
Yeah. Um I mean, if you do look at so you're just saying scoring or everything? Because I do agree that LeBron can do everything. He can play any position, guard anyone. He has done that in the past,
Yeah.
and he still sort of does it. But he has a role now with the Lakers, different role than he had when he was with the Heat or the Cavs,
He's
all
also
that.
40 years old.
Exactly. And the fact he's still doing that at 40 is obviously ridiculous. But yeah, I say dominance is obviously defense. It's everything. It's
Yeah,
everything.
you had.
You have to do everything well, which is the only reason I don't think I can say Jokic is. He's definitely I think probably the most dominant on offense, but LeBron altogether because Jokic doesn't have the defensive impact.
Yeah, I mean, Jokic, he can pass the ball better than any center I've ever seen.
Yeah.
He can score the ball at all three levels.
Yep.
He can rebound the hell out of the basketball, but I just don't like. I think if a team like if the Bucks were to play the Nuggets, I think a smart thing to do for the Bucks would to put Giannis at the 5 and make Jokic guard Giannis, and do not put another big man on the court because I don't think Jokic can guard him. I don't think Jokic can really guard Anthony Davis either, but Anthony Davis is just so inconsistent
Yeah.
that it could seem like he's playing good defense when he's really not. Anthony Davis is just a bum and missing shots.
Exactly. But I think this year he's been pretty consistent. I think
Yeah,
AD.
he at the beginning of the year he struggled a little bit, but he's been better. I think, and a lot of people hated on the in-season tournament, but I think that can help a team like the Lakers or a team that hasn't won
Like
since
experience, like
like
little playoff experience, kind of.
like a team. The NBA is all about being able to gel with certain guys
Yeah.
because the NBA, the teams change every year. The teams are never the same.
Exactly.
Like, look at LeBron. Like, LeBron always has new teammates every year. The teams always
Yeah,
change
they
every
do.
year.
They do.
So I think an in-season tournament can help a team like the Lakers that have so much change every year that they could get in that playoff mindset in frickin' November,
Yeah.
win the in-season tournament. I'm not saying it should be a resume booster by any means,
Yeah.
but
I
it
mean,
could help a team, and it could also help a team that's really young. Like, I don't think the Indiana Pacers are that good of a basketball
no.
team, but the fact that they made it to the championship in the in-season tournament kind of gives them like, oh, okay, we can compete with the Bucks, we can compete with the
Exactly.
Sixers, the Celtics, we can do this.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I also don't think that Bucks duo. They don't. It's you can't rely on those two guys the whole game. You know, they have no bench. I just don't understand. I don't think it's gonna work come playoff time.
To be honest with you, I think they're very similar to what the Lakers were last year because
Yeah.
they relied a lot
Yeah.
on LeBron and AD, and like Austin Reeves obviously came up clutch and other guys came up clutch, but when you have to play a team as well rounded as the Nuggets were,
Yeah.
they got in the they got swept, yes, but they were close games. It's
They were
not like
all
they
good
got
games.
blown out,
They were all good games.
but when the Nuggets have the best depth, last
Exactly.
year they were unreal.
The other thing is talking about the Nuggets with their depth. Last year, people were saying, "Oh, they don't have the depth for it. They don't have a bench." And then what happened? You got Christian Brown coming up in clutch scenarios in the playoffs. Same with Bruce Brown, Jeff Green too. I mean, and they said this year now they have no bench, but they got some good rookies, and Christian Brown's got a bigger role now.
See, that's the whole like that's the other thing with it. I think the in-season tournament can help a little bit is these guys. They're like, oh, they have no bench. Like all they worry about is their starters. Well, the in-season tournament can help because there's some games that are meaningless that
Yeah,
you play, and like the Lakers, for example, I would like. I mean, the whole NBA, all they do is freaking do the whole like they barely play the whole season. They play
exactly,
50 games because they're so. And Jamal Murray's been hurt, so they've had to rely on other guys to win.
exactly,
And
and
in Jokic, I mean, I saw him like he'll still score like 20 points a game, but
yeah,
he's had games where he has not looked good when
yeah. I think it was back-to-back games. I think one of them might have been against the Rockets. In the game before that, I forgot who. But he shot like shit. It was against the Clippers.
yeah, the Clippers the
He
yeah,
was like
I
eight
was
for.
watching.
I think it was maybe 11 for 30 something.
Yeah,
Something like
like
that.
when you put up 30 shots, like and you put up, it's
It
like
was.
It's James Harden.
Yeah, it
James Harden
was
puts up 45 shots a game, and everyone's like, "Oh, he scored 26 points." Yeah,
because he
but he
put
put up
just like
fucking
Curry.
40
That's.
shots.
Oh yeah,
That's
Curry.
Steph Curry
Because
too.
he
Yes.
shoots 33s a fucking game practically.
Well, yeah. I mean,
You know, it's like that's the other thing. I mean, they still win games. It's there's a stat probably with it, but I don't know.
it's
It's
the other
just
problem with I mean, the social media era where you see fucking highlights only, and you don't
yeah,
watch the game, and
exactly.
someone shows freaking Steph Curry shooting a three and turning around and talking shit to the bench, and everyone's like, "Oh, Steph Curry, oh yeah."
Yeah, and the thing about the Jokic, like the stats, like he was. I think it was just off games because he takes those shots every game, and they just weren't going in. It happens sometimes, but
You're
shit
not
games happen.
like that. There's been games of great players that should happen to. You're
Exactly.
not expected to freaking make every single shot you take, but
Yeah, I saw people. Oh yeah, watching the Jokic downfall in real time's crazy, and then the next game
well,
he
yeah,
plays great.
but
It's like just the media
that's yeah, they're
switches up,
it's
changes
all
everything.
about right now. And I mean, we'll talk about the NFL a little bit later,
Oh yeah,
but
it's a big one.
the NFL 1 week they're talking about how oh this team is dog shit, they're garbage. They can't do this. Like
Yep.
look at the Broncos at the beginning of the year.
Right.
They gave up 70 points to the Dolphins, and they're like, "Oh, this is the worst defense." And to be honest with you, I don't know if they've given up 24 points in the last freaking 4
Yeah,
weeks.
they stepped it up. That's the thing. When
It's a
you
week to week league.
exactly
Everything changes. They say Jordan Love is the worst quarterback of all time, and then he beats Patrick Mahomes on Sunday Night Football, and now he's good.
And
So
he beats the Lions and Chiefs back to back, and they got the future now, which
well,
we'll talk more about because that's a question later. We'll
yeah.
talk about with the Jordan Love and shit.
Sorry,
so.
I'm going on a
No, you're good.
tangent here.
All right, so I guess so we both agree that LeBron's still and has been pretty much the
Yeah,
most dominant.
and I mean, to be honest with you, I would. There's other guys that have had, like Kawhi at one time was very dominant in the
was.
NBA. I think he's fallen off a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's with age or it could also be because he has freaking 4 All-Stars on his team and he can't shoot as much and dominate a game as much because Paul George has to get the ball, James Harden has to get the ball, Russell Westbrook has to get the ball.
There's only one ball in basketball. There's not 3.
The reason, and people can say, oh, the Miami Heat didn't work when D-Wade, LeBron, and Chris Bosh, but they won, and they made it to the freaking finals
and
every
they
year.
all had a role.
But,
the Clippers, it's like...
LeBron, there was games where LeBron was the guy, and he's going to go out there and score 45 points.
Yeah.
There's games when, at the beginning of the game, LeBron did not have his stuff, so he was just going to pass, rebound, and D-Wade was going to be the scorer.
Yeah.
And then they also had a Kyle Korver that's going to drain threes. They had 3-point shooters, Ray Allen. So, and Chris Bosh was just a typical role player big man that was going to rebound and hit his shots when he was given opportunities.
Defense, all that shit.
It's stuff like you can't just, we're going to have Kevin Durant and Devin Booker and all these guys. Well, who's going to take the last shot?
Exactly.
Because when you have 4 dudes on the court that their whole career have taken the last shot, and everyone's divas now. They all want to make $100 million and be the face of a franchise. Well, someone's going to have to be that, and 3 other dudes are not going to be that.
Exactly.
And who's it going to be?
So, ending off that, I will say that Michael Jordan has never won an in-season tournament, too. Just saying. He's never...
Fun fact for you.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan has never, and he also probably has never left Las Vegas up $500,000. So, I mean...
And he killed his father. All right.
This isn't a conspiracy show, right? But if we want to talk about conspiracies, I got you.
All right. So our next question for the NBA is, what should the NBA do with these emotional refs? Because it's getting out of hand within the past week. I saw Jokic get ejected twice in the first half in 2 different games, and a terrible ejection that happened to Jaylen Brown, who, I think these refs and players, but starting with the refs, they should understand that these players aren't going to like every call. You don't see people in the refs in the NFL just fucking ejecting players for arguing. It doesn't happen. People aren't going to like calls, and NBA players got to understand, too, that they can't change the call, I think. Yeah. So just they call it whatever. I mean, obviously you don't like it, you can say something, but I mean, it's just ridiculous that little shit like that. And Jokic against the Bulls on Serbian night in Chicago. Guy gets fucking ejected with like 2 minutes left in the second half, or first half.
So, yeah, I agree. And I mean, when I saw him and Jaylen Brown and like certain guys, you'd think the NBA wouldn't want to eject, which is what they've proven with LeBron James.
Exactly.
And even in the past with Michael Jordan, like how many times did those guys foul out or get ejected?
Yep.
They don't. And they have a couple times, yeah, it's going to happen, but I think it's just the way society is now. They're kind of soft.
Yeah.
LeBron James can go to a ref and probably tell him that he'd murder his family and he won't get ejected. But, you know, a foreign guy from Serbia will bring up the mob that's being involved in his in how he basically probably runs Serbia. And he'll get ejected. Like, all these guys bitch about calls.
Exactly.
Steph Curry used to be a whiny little baby.
Yeah.
And, yeah, he's been ejected. He was ejected in the finals against the Cavs that one year, but
Yep.
the game was out of reach already. He threw his
Exactly.
mouthpiece like
Yeah.
a little bitch, like that. But in the NFL, it's a lot harder. Like in the NFL, they're wearing helmets, so you can't really read their lips of what they're saying.
True.
But corners bitch about pass interference calls. Receivers bitch about not getting PI calls.
Yep.
They all do it, and they don't get like yeah, you'll here and there you'll get an unsportsmanlike conduct, whatever,
Yeah.
or like celebrating, or they'll score a touchdown and then they'll go to the ref like that made a call. But perfect example is the Patrick Mahomes shit.
Yeah.
He ran on the like. Was it the right call? Was it not the right call? There's rules that say it is the right call, and he obviously was offsides. But
Yeah.
then there's people that are saying it shouldn't have been called.
Because of the things that didn't happen before
Yeah.
they called it, like warnings and all that
Yeah,
shit.
but the fact that he bitched for the rest of the game on the sidelines.
Yep.
After a game, you'd think him and Josh Allen, I think, are close friends.
Yeah.
But he went up to Josh Allen and basically told him, "You fucking lost. You should have lost that game.
Yeah.
The refs gave you that game. Whatever." He's a little bitch, and it is what
I
it
mean,
is. But he was not flagged.
exactly.
For all we know, the part of the video that wasn't there, he could have frickin' told the ref that he could have called him a fucking pussy and
Yeah.
whatever, and
Exactly.
you just
I mean,
don't. There's certain refs and NBA. I think. I mean, in the past, like that Tim Donaghy guy, he bet on fucking games,
yeah.
and he said that all my calls weren't. I never made bad calls, but you, the NBA can have an agenda going into games of what they want to happen.
Exactly.
And I think the NBA does do that. I could see the NBA just being completely freaking rigged for certain teams to win
Absolutely.
because of markets and making money. And that's fine, whatever, but the fact that you can bet on stuff and you don't freaking know that it's basically rigged for you to lose
Yeah.
and you're letting people bet on it. I think I think the NBA just has an agenda of what they want to happen at most games, especially the televised live nationally televised games.
Yeah.
So it is what I just think that the refs are soft with certain
Yep.
players, and certain players can get away with murder on the court.
Yeah. It's and also like Jokic, the best center in the league. Everyone's going pay money to watch this guy play. He gets ejected in the first half. It's
See,
just people are paying money for this,
but
and it's crazy.
that's the whole thing with the load management stuff too. Is a LeBron James or Kevin Durant, they're going to Chicago to play the Bulls or whatever. Bulls suck, so
Yeah.
like no one's going to the game. But LeBron's coming, so they want to go see him
Exactly.
play. Well, he's load managing. He's not playing. He's sitting on the sidelines and watching, and you're
Yeah.
watching some freaking bum play basketball. Like that's my thing is they're making people pay a lot of money for tickets,
Yep.
concessions, travel, all this crap, and the best players aren't playing. The guys that they want to go see.
Yeah, just like I remember, I think something with Kobe. He's like, even when he was hurt, these kids are coming to watch him play. So he tries. That's why he tried to stay healthy all the time and wanted to play
Yeah,
because he gets it. Because when he was a
but
kid with MJ, I remember I think his wife talked about that after Kobe died. But yeah, I think no one has that mindset anymore, though. No one does.
no,
It's different.
but I think if players, I don't know what it is, but whoever started doing it in the NBA, it's just going to continue to happen. So
Hmm.
someone needs to come out and stop it.
Yep.
And I don't know if they will. Like LeBron is a weird example with that because he would take some games off, but he's not getting hurt. Like there's guys that are freaking getting some injury that in any other sport you're playing,
Hmm.
and then they're taking 6 games off.
Exactly.
And the NBA is different because a lot of these guys, I think they come into the season out of shape.
Yeah.
Look at James Harden. He comes in weighing 275
Yeah.
pounds, and then he's out of shape, and he takes all these games off, and then I just think all these other sports guys are ready to play game one.
Yeah, for sure.
And no one plays in the preseason anymore, so they can't get ready.
Exactly.
Same with the NFL, though.
Yeah.
Like, all these injuries in the NFL, I think it has something to do with practice and them not practicing as much or full go, and also the preseason. No one plays in the preseason anymore.
No, yeah,
They
no one
play
does.
2 drives in the last game, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, we're done. We're ready for the year."
Yeah. So, yeah. For the next question we got is, are the Grizzlies actually bad, or are they just missing John Morant? And I think last year, when Ja missed games, I think they had a better record without him. And I know this Grizzlies team's different. They lost some guys, got some new guys. Marcus Smart was a big addition in the offseason, but I think even with Ja, I don't think this team can improve, especially since how bad the record already is. I'm not saying it's too late, but it's going to be tough. You got to play 100% for the rest of your games practically.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they're that good of a team.
Me either.
Ja Morant, I mean, he makes them better because he's a bigger name and he's a better star than anyone they have on the team. But, I mean, they can get into the play-in. Like, that's...
Yeah, exactly. And then that could be exactly
Look at
like
the Lakers.
Yep.
Last year. They go into the play-in, which you're going into the play-in, though, with 2 guys that have proven they can win a championship. So,
Yeah.
and LeBron has won 4 of them. So, like, it's different, but you never know. Just get it. You just get in the tournament and see what happens. Same in the NFL. Get in the playoffs and see what happens. You can get lucky on one play. I don't know who. I don't know who it was. The Vikings were playing a playoff game. They missed a field goal to end the game when they should have won. And who was it that they lost to? Whoever they lost to made it to the Super Bowl. They shouldn't have even won the first game.
Yeah.
That stuff happens all the time. You just got to get hot at the right time, and especially same with the MLB. It's a 162 game season.
Exactly.
If you get hot at the end of the year, look at the Phillies 2 years ago. They get hot at the right time. They make it to the freaking World Series. Diamondbacks this year, they got hot at the end of the year. They go into the playoffs, and they go to the World Series. They lost to the Rangers, but the Rangers were hot most of the year. So
True.
That's just how you just got to get in. Once you get in, you got a shot. I just don't think the Grizzlies are that good of a team.
Yeah, me either. I just think it's also there's so much drama with the organization and with Ja especially. It's just I don't think this team will last too long with these players. I think within the next few years might be a completely different team.
Yeah, who knows Ja could do some other dumb shit and get his self suspended for a full year. So you never really know what could happen. There's guys in the NBA that do dumb crap and freaking get away with it, and there's guys that do dumb crap and just they're done.
Exactly. So for the next question is, can the Nuggets go back-to-back this year? Obviously, not impossible, as we've seen in the past, but it's hard to do, especially when you got nearly a new bench and some rookies you got that are playing and trying to stay healthy with Jamal Murray. I think it's just one of those things in the NBA where you get home court, you're going to the finals if you get home court advantage.
I think with certain teams, yes, home court. Yeah. But a team like Denver, they don't lose at home. They like playing at home. I don't know what the elevation could be a big factor in that. I don't know. I've never been to Colorado, so I couldn't tell you, but I would probably die there. I don't have the best wind.
Like when people were saying that, the only reason the Nuggets are going to win it, the elevation, all this shit. But these players are there prior, so you get used to it.
Yes, but
And if you're in the NBA, your body should be fucking prepared and
true.
ready. So I
But
don't.
also, when you're practicing there every day, it
That's true.
probably helps.
Yeah.
And when you live there a lot, I mean, a lot of the guys they don't live there year round, but they live there for majority of the year, so
Yeah.
they're used to it.
Definitely.
Like a guy, well, LeBron doesn't seem to have much issue when he goes there.
Exactly.
Because you want to know, and a lot of people hate on LeBron, and that's fine. But he takes it's a 365-day commitment for LeBron James.
Yeah.
That's why he's 39. He's going to be 39, I think, or 38,
Yeah.
whatever. And that's why he's still playing at an MVP level.
Yeah.
It's because he takes this very seriously. He takes his body very seriously. He doesn't get hurt.
Exactly. He doesn't.
And that's he goes to Denver. He's got no issue, but these Celtics players go there and they act like it's the biggest thing ever. The Heat players, if you take it seriously, and if this is your job, okay?
Exactly. You gotta.
So, and I understand they're like, oh, these fans are so mean to us, blah, blah, blah. Like these fans saying F you in the stands, and they take it personally. And I agree, it is messed up what they say, but this is your job, and your job is to deal with the fans, and they pay a lot of money to go see you play.
Yep.
And it is if this is your job, you better take it seriously and put in the time.
Yeah.
There's guys like LeBron James that do that, and then there's guys like James Harden that don't do that.
Exactly.
So,
yeah, or you could say Embiid. He hasn't been to Denver since 2019. He's ducking Jokic at home.
Yeah,
which I think that's nuts.
So he hasn't played in a game in Denver since 2019.
Yeah.
Huh. That could be a coincidence.
It could, but
it could also be true. You never know.
Exactly. For the last question we got for basketball is, who's your early MVP favorite? Which is obviously tough. It's early. There's a lot of players that are hot. I think Luka's hot right now.
Yeah.
I'll obviously put Jokic in there because he's still in his prime and he's still dominating. I mean, I do not think Halliburton is an MVP favorite. I think that's ridiculous.
That's the whole recency bias thing, though.
Exactly.
And that's the thing with this new in-season tournament. I think it's going to
everything.
get to a point where, and it already has, Halliburton had a couple good in-season tournament games when everybody was watching, and now all of a sudden he's one of the best players in the league, Stephen A. says, and he's so good. I think MVP, I mean, Embiid maybe is a favorite. He probably always is.
I think Maxey has been playing well too. It's hard because they're on the same team, obviously.
Yeah.
But he's been balling.
But the whole thing is, and people always MVP is. They're like, oh, the best player in the league, but the most valuable player to their team.
Exactly.
And there's a lot of guys that aren't in the conversation for MVP that are very valuable to their football team or basketball team.
Yeah.
That if they get taken off that basketball team, they are not going to be a good basketball team.
Exactly.
And I mean, I think if you take AD off the Lakers, I don't think they're as good.
Yeah.
Because they don't have a big man. I think if you take LeBron James off the Lakers, they're not as good.
Yeah.
But if you take Jokic off the Nuggets,
they might be like an 8 seed.
Yeah, they'll be a play-in team, and they got a couple flashes here and there. They might win a couple rounds, but they definitely are not in contention to win a NBA championship.
Same with Luka. You take him off the Mavs, that team is probably in last place.
Yeah, and I mean, Kyrie has shown that he can't lead his own team.
Yeah.
He needs another guy.
He does.
Like, that's why LeBron was perfect for Kyrie, because all the lights were on LeBron. They were not on Kyrie, and I'm not like, Kyrie's a very good basketball player.
He is.
And he showed that when he hit that 3 in Game 7. He showed that. But when he goes to Boston and all the lights are on him, they were better without him than they were with him.
Yep. That's when Kyrie kind of all that controversy came out too. Was when he was with Boston, I think,
Oh
with
yeah,
all that bullshit.
and and that was when the lights are on him, and then he pulled the typical Boston sports thing where
Yeah,
Boston sports fans are racist stuff.
yeah,
But I don't know if that's true. I've never been to Boston,
yeah,
and I've never been to a game there. But it seems like that's the scapegoat for guys that don't work out in a city.
yeah.
That's in
I mean,
Boston. If you go to Boston and you don't work out, you're just like, oh, these fans are racist. They don't
yeah.
like me. Whatever.
All right, so moving on to baseball here. Got a lot of big things that happened in the off season. First thing we're going to talk about though is where will Cody Bellinger sign? What will he do? Who's going to offer him money? What's up with Bellinger? Do you think?
So, well, originally I thought it was going to be the Yankees, but they
Big,
obviously have
yeah,
about 35 outfielders now that are.
yeah.
So he's obviously not going to the Yankees. I'm a Cubs fan. I do want him to come back to the Cubs. I think
Same,
he's very valuable to the Cubs. I think
absolutely.
if they don't bring him back, they need to. You have to replace so much that what he did, and I'm not saying he's going to be at that level that he was last year,
Hmm.
but he can be at a consistent, as long as it's not down to where he was at the end of when he was in LA.
Yeah,
And it's not going to be, he's not going to be able to be at that MVP level, I don't think, again. But if he could just be I mean, he was great in the outfield. He was great at first, a great defensive player. He didn't hit for power as well as I thought he was going to
yeah.
with the Cubs. But
Consistency's always good though.
oh yeah,
As
and
long as you're
if
consistent.
his power numbers go up and his average goes down, fine by me. If he's going to hit 270 every year and hit 25 home runs, I would 100% have. But I think it's Cubs or Giants, and I'll say Cubs because I want him to be on the
Yeah,
Cubs. But it just all depends on money wise what
exactly.
the Cubs are willing to pay him. I just don't know if he's worth the money that his dumb agent Scott Boras,
Yeah.
loser, um, really thinks he's worth, because
Yeah,
I don't think he's worth anywhere near what some of these guys make. But he's worth a
exactly.
lot of money because he is a very good.
He is.
But it's just 1 year.
And the Cubs,
So
yeah, the
if
Cubs
he was on the
also.
Cubs for 3 years and he proved that he could be at this level, then okay, I'll pay him 200 million. But
Exactly.
he hasn't proven that. It's been a 1 year. It could be a one-hit wonder year.
Yeah,
New scenery, and then all of a sudden he comes back and he's dog shit. You never know.
exactly.
That's baseball, though.
Exactly. And the Cubs also got to think about pitching too. That's huge for them. Bullpen, some starters.
Yeah,
I think if you sign Bellinger, and I heard Josh Naylor possibly being
yeah, in
Cubs
a
interested
trade.
with the
Um,
Cubs.
I think he would be a good role guy. Like,
Yeah,
um, I think Shane Bieber would be a good trade. I don't know what the Cleveland Cleveland baseball team is thinking. um, but I would, if they want to, they have a new manager, young guy,
hmm
first year as a manager. So I don't know what they want to do. Cleveland isn't really known for like paying guys. So I
yeah,
wouldn't be shocked if they want to trade a Shane Bieber, Emmanuel Clase. To be honest, if I was the Cubs, I would trade for Josh Naylor, Shane Bieber, and Emmanuel Clase in a deal and give up. The Cubs have the number two, I think it was number two in Baseball America farm system.
Yeah,
So you have the guy, like you have prospects that you can get rid of. You have too many. They have like 5 shortstop prospects in the top 15.
yeah,
Like what? Like you're obviously, that's too many.
exactly.
But that's the whole point of like baseball, the draft. That's what a lot of these teams do. Like the Dodgers,
hmm
they have 6 different guys that are middle infield prospects, and they all seem to be good. But the one guy that comes up, they'll keep for 6 years, and they'll trade the other guys. And
Yeah,
then when they got to pay this guy, they don't pay him. They go pay someone else, and then they bring the other guy up.
yeah. that's just how shit goes now with baseball. Also, I think the Cubs. Talk about Trevor Bauer for a second here.
That'd be
Do you
great.
think he's gonna get a contract in the MLB or this year? Or no.
Do I want him to get a contract? Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to see him back in the MLB. He got railroaded.
It's just fucked. That shit's just fucked up.
So, like, yeah, you never, when stuff like that comes out, you never know. But, like, it could be, when that stuff comes out, you don't want to be like, oh, it's not true and it be true.
Exactly.
And you also don't want to be, oh, it's true and it's completely false.
Yeah.
But he definitely deserves to be back in the MLB. I mean, he went over to Japan and he pitched pretty well there.
And Japan's pretty.
I mean, that's the number 2 league.
Exactly.
It's not
got a lot of
really
good players.
anywhere close to the MLB,
Yeah,
but it's a good league. I'm not saying it's not a good league,
Yeah.
but he definitely deserves to be in the MLB. Even if you give him, like, the good thing about him is you're not going to have to pay him a crap ton of money like he was making with the Dodgers before they let him go.
Exactly.
You can give him a 2-year, 3-year deal for like $5 million a year, and he'd love that.
Exactly.
Because he just wants to be back here.
He wants another chance.
And I think he's a really good pitcher. So you can get him for the cheap. He could be a 4 or a 5 starter for your team, and that's a very good 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And that's what the Cubs need: a number 1 and then a back of the rotation guy.
Yeah.
A Shane Bieber could be number 1. And I mean, you're losing Stroman. They're not going to bring Stroman back.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with that. But you bring in a Shane Bieber and a Trevor Bauer to replace Marcus Stroman.
Yeah.
You got better on the pitching staff. And Justin Steele, who I think is a top 5 pitcher in the NL.
Yeah.
He was at least this past year.
Yep.
That's a good rotation. Tyon is going to be better. He had a bad year. It is what it is. That stuff happens. And you got young guys. Jordan Wicks was good.
I think some of those young guys maybe start them with the bullpen. Put them in the bullpen maybe.
Yeah.
See how they do. Because it's really bad.
Javier Assad, man, he pitched his butt off when he came in the rotation, but he also pitched his butt off in the bullpen too. I don't know what they want to do with him. I'd probably rather see Wicks in the rotation than him, but
definitely.
Assad is definitely a good. You got to keep him.
Yeah.
But Alzolay back end of the bullpen, he was so trusted.
He was.
And they pitched him so much that at the end of the year he just got tired because he pitched so much. Because he was the only guy they could rely on at the end of the year because Assad was in the rotation. All these guys moved to the rotation.
Which is also what I want to see what Counsell does, Craig Counsell.
Well,
with the bullpen and all that shit. See how he manages shit.
That's the other thing because, I mean, a lot of Cubs fans like David Ross because he was on the 2016 World Series team. The guy, like, that's just how Cubs fans are.
Exactly.
And they won when he was on the team, so now but he was not a good manager. I don't care what anybody says.
There was moments where he was like, oh, okay. And then there was like, what the hell is this fucking guy doing?
He didn't know how to manage a bullpen, and you'd think a catcher would know how to do that.
Yeah.
But he could not manage the bullpen. And I don't know if that was because he was doing it or you never know now with the analytics crap.
Yeah.
Jed Hoyer could have been freaking involved, and we don't even know it. But with a guy like Craig Counsell that's been a manager for a long time with the Brewers, he's going to be taking that role over. He will, and the Brewers always had a good bullpen. Yeah, they had Josh Hader, Devin Williams, big name guys, but they also had some guys that no one knew who the hell they were.
Yeah.
And he put them in positions to succeed, and they did.
Yeah.
The Brewers also don't spend money.
No.
The Cubs do spend money. Well, at least they should.
Yeah,
we'll see if they do. They used to. But if they want to spend the money, we'll see if Craig Counsell is a really good manager or if he was just okay.
Yeah, exactly.
You never know.
And I think the Cubs just need to do... obviously I want him to re-sign Bellinger. I'd like to get Josh Naylor. I love that guy. I think he's a big
Dude,
fucking clubhouse guy.
dude,
He gets fired up,
his
and I love it
that one video
against the Sox.
against the White Sox when he hit that
Grands,
home
yeah,
run, that was, and I mean, I'm a Cubs fan, so I
yeah,
absolutely hate the White
yeah.
Sox, but that was a great video. The guy, energy.
That just makes him just that him hating the White Sox. He should come to the Cubs. Like just that.
Oh yeah,
That's
I
just
mean, and I'm not I'm not saying I like the Cardinals or anything.
yeah.
I don't like the Cardinals. I don't like the Brewers. I don't like the Reds. I don't
Mhm.
like the Pirates, even though the Reds and Pirates are
Yeah, I don't think.
they haven't been they haven't been good when the Cubs were good, so it really didn't matter to me.
Yeah,
And the Pirates haven't been good since 2015. But the White Sox, it's just hilarious that they freaking go all in and like, oh, it's our window to win, and then
yeah.
they freaking lose, and they hired Tony La Russa, aka Joe Biden, uh, and they lose. So and
Yeah.
he's gone, and because the guy can't even stay awake in the freaking
Yeah.
dugout. But
Yeah, there's a lot of teams that are just in a complete mess right now, and one of them is definitely the White Sox.
oh yeah,
It's terrible.
they screwed up, and I think they just they bought into some guys that like a guy like Eloy, he just gets hurt so much
Hmm.
that it's tough to buy into that guy to be an everyday guy. I think he should just DH. I don't think he should play the outfield because I think if he DHs, he might stay healthy.
Hmm.
And that's what you have him for, his bat. He's a
Yeah.
horrible outfielder.
Yeah.
And but it's too late now because Giolito's gone, Lance Lynn's gone. Supposedly they want to trade Dylan Cease.
Yeah, and they want to move to Nashville, I guess. Take the team to Nashville, which I wouldn't mind it.
Well, to be honest with you, I don't want it to happen because I just know that I just don't think they'll win again unless they
Yeah.
change ownership, new GMs,
Yeah.
which they got a new GM, so
Yeah.
that's good. But if Reinsdorf is still the same Reinsdorf, then they're not going to win. I don't care
Exactly.
what GM you bring in.
Hmm.
You could bring in Theo Epstein. If Reinsdorf is not going to spend the money, then they're not going to win.
Yep. They're not.
They need a new manager too. That guy sucks.
Yeah.
For a fall, he's awful.
I think they'll maybe another 10 years of being dog shit. They haven't been good for a long time. I mean,
And
if you count that, what was that? What year was that? 21 when they were in the playoffs, or 22?
I think they made it in 2020 and 2021, or was it
20?
2021, 2022? I don't
Some
know.
shit like that. But
I don't know which two it was, but I mean they made the playoffs. They lost to the Astros that one's
Yeah.
the most recent playoff run, and then they were up 2-0 on the A's and blew a 2-0 lead to the Oakland A's,
Yeah.
which is
The
another
Oakland A's.
abomination
Oh
of an
my God.
organization.
That's got to be worse than the Sox too. They're
But
close though.
they were up 2-0, and see the problem I have with the White Sox is they think that they want to be the Cubs so bad,
Yeah.
and they can't be the Cubs because I mean I'm a Cubs fan. I've been a Cubs fan my whole life, and when the Cubs were bad and I knew they were going to be bad, I still sat there and watched every game. I
Exactly.
still went to games.
Yeah.
Everyone still goes to games that are
I
Cubs
can't
fans.
believe there's people that I know that say, "Oh, the Cubs are the most fair weather fans." They're always at the game.
Well,
it's almost always sold out.
They say
even when we're
that
dog
they
shit.
say that
And they're
because
White Sox fans that say this. Look at your $1 tickets you get on Sundays.
yeah,
I don't know
and
if they still do that.
in your
but
$1 hot dog Wednesdays and
Yeah.
whatever they got going on there.
they
But
need
it's
they
like
need
a
to do something.
freaking minor league team.
Right?
They have these deals for their games to get people to go.
It's like
And-
the Chicago Dogs or something.
But that's why they'll never be the Cubs because the Cubs were historically bad,
yeah,
consistently
especially for postseason.
for almost 100 years.
Yeah.
They weren't bad every year, but they made the playoffs sometimes, but they
It was
really
just
weren't going to win.
Cursed, yeah.
But everyone, they always showed up there. And the people that the White Sox fans that say, "Oh, there's all these fair weather fans that are Cubs fans," they say that because there's these what I like to call drifters in the city of Chicago. That
Yeah.
when the White Sox are good, they're White Sox
Yeah.
fans. When the Cubs are good, they're Cubs fans. And
You
when
gotta
both teams are good, they root for both teams. And you
you
can't
gotta
do
pick a
that.
team. You gotta pick a team. There's
If there's
both franchises hate each other.
this
There's
is
no way
this
you're
is
both.
the only city that happens.
Yeah.
The New York Mets and the New York
They
Yankees
fucking
fans, they would murder each other for
yeah.
a World Series.
Shout out Frank the Tank.
Yeah,
Shout out
Frank the Tank, greatest Mets fan of all time. Fucking love Frank,
Fucking
but
poor guy, man.
yeah, misery. Frank the Tank,
Yeah.
misery. But like that's the problem I have with Chicago is, I mean, it's because like at least in New York, there's two football teams too.
Uh-huh.
I think it has something to do with there being one football team, and you only have the Bears,
Yeah.
and they're so bad
Mhm.
and have been bad forever that it's like
Just
they just want to
clear the
win.
air. We're not Bears fans either. So
Yeah, I'm not a Bears fan,
fuck the Bears.
but they want to win. So they
Yeah.
go to the team in baseball that's winning
Yeah.
because my Bears never win, so let's
Yeah.
go to the Cubs this year, and then next year now we're White Sox fans.
Yeah.
There's always drifters like that. I mean, John Cusack is a perfect example
Oh my
of
God,
celebrity
yeah.
drifter that is a Cubs fan in 2016 and goes to Game 7, and then all of a sudden he's a White Sox fan again. That's why White Sox Dave has him on his ban list for White Sox
Yeah.
fans. And I'm gonna, you know what, I'm gonna start a Cubs ban list, and I'm going. There's this guy on Twitter
Okay.
that is a Cubs account. I'm not gonna name him, but certain people that may be listening to this know who I'm talking about. He knows nothing about the Cubs organization, and he thinks he does. And he's like, "Oh, Cubs, this, that. They got to spend this, and they got to get Otani, and all this crap." And he just wants them to spend billions and billions of dollars
Yeah.
every year. And we expect better, and all this crap. He doesn't know crap.
Yeah.
And that's fine. There's Cubs fans that are like that just
Yeah.
want to win, and there's nothing wrong with winning.
Absolutely.
I want to
yeah,
win
absolutely.
too.
Yeah.
But you can't just be the New York Yankees all of a sudden. It
Uh-huh.
doesn't work for them anymore.
No, it doesn't.
They spend a crap ton of money every year and they don't win. The Los Angeles Dodgers, they've won one World Series.
That is ridiculous.
They spend all the money in the world.
Right?
And they don't win. They always choke.
Yep. And I think it's big with because every game matters, man. Kershaw just is dog shit in the postseason.
Yeah.
He's probably one of the worst postseason pitchers I've ever seen.
He had some years that he was good in
Yeah.
the postseason.
Yeah.
But historically, he is not a good postseason
He's
pitcher.
known for sucking in the playoffs.
I mean, he was 2016. He was. I don't know if he was up for the Cy Young. I know he didn't win it,
Yeah.
but he might have been up for it, and he pitched in Game 6 against the Cubs in the NLCS, and Rizzo hit a homer off him. Contreras hit a home. He just got lit up, and that was what he does in the postseason.
Yeah.
He's never good in the postseason. And he's too old now to be good in the postseason.
Yeah.
If the Dodgers made the playoffs, if the Dodgers make the playoffs this year, this upcoming year, which they probably will,
Yeah, they will.
Kershaw might not even be on the roster to pitch.
He should.
If he comes back, he's a free agent. So
I think what they got to do, if he comes back, he's getting old. If I was a Dodgers, put him in the bullpen or something.
yeah, they could do what
because he could be good for a few innings.
he could be effective. I just don't know. Like, I would put him as the 5th starter.
Yeah. Cause they could do what the Cubs kind of did with Kendrick. Didn't they start him in the bullpen this year? Or no?
Who?
Hendricks? Or no?
No.
No?
No.
I don't know. I thought I saw some shit about him.
I mean,
or when he might have been when he was injured.
He got hurt.
When he was coming back.
That was 2 years ago, I
That was 2 years ago.
think, because he was really bad 2 years
Yeah.
ago. This year he was pretty good, but
And people say
I,
that Hendricks sucked this year,
he
but he
but
improved.
he's not. The people expect him to be
What
at that
yeah.
level he was in 2016,
Yep.
and he's never going to be that anymore
He's not.
because everyone in the league is now throwing 100 miles an hour,
Yep.
and he throws 88.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not going to be as effective. It can be effective if he hits his spots, but he's getting older. He's not going to be able to do that consistently.
Exactly. So we'll move on here. It's a couple trades that happen, or not trades, signings with Soto. Will Juan Soto have an impact on the
Oh,
Yankees?
big impact.
Big
They
impact.
need a lefty bat. Aaron Judge can't be the only one that consistently hits home runs on that team. And I think Aaron Judge is the most valuable player in the MLB, by the way. So
Yeah.
you can talk all that Shohei Otani stuff, but Aaron Judge
Yeah.
is way more valuable to the Yankees than Otani was to the Angels. The Angels, they ever make the playoffs with Otani?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't even think they got close. If I'm being
Aaron Judge,
honest.
no, they didn't because Otani and Mike Trout are the same player. They get hurt every year
Yeah.
and they don't play every game. And I love Mike Trout. He's a great baseball player.
He is.
He's one of the best.
Which is also the Angels have proven this that one player is, and it's only really in baseball. One player cannot make a fucking impact.
No.
It's not basketball.
In the NBA, you could take LeBron James in his prime and put him on a team that doesn't make the playoffs,
like the
and they'd make the
Pistons, yeah.
playoffs. Like, especially in the East when he used to play on the Cavs, if you took him off the Cavs and put him on a team that did not make the playoffs, they probably would have made it to the frickin' NBA Finals and probably would have lost because.
Yeah.
But
One
Juan
baseball's
Soto.
just
But back to Juan Soto, the Yankees need a lefty power guy. And that's why I thought they were going to get Bellinger, because I think Bellinger, with that short porch in right field, would hit a lot of home runs with the Yankees. But the problem is Juan Soto, when he's at his best, is also hitting the ball to left center field. He's hitting gap to gap, and he's got that power to where if you miss inside, he's going to hit one 400 feet to right field. But I worry that he might, and his offensive numbers haven't been as good since he left the Nationals. His swing looks different to me, if I'm being completely honest with you. It looks like someone messed with him, because his swing with the Nationals was a very nice swing.
You could think about it with Cody Bellinger, too.
Yeah.
His swing.
Well, I think he was just trying to change too much.
And then he mentally.
So, but Juan Soto was at the top of his hitting numbers. Like, he was right there.
Exactly.
And then all of a sudden it started changing. Different people start talking to him. Different drills, something changes, and then his swing is different. But I think he's a big impact for them. He's pretty good defensively. I wouldn't say he's great, but it lets you. He's probably going to play left field. Judge is probably going to be in right again. He's flirted with center field a little bit. But I think Juan Soto is a big impact for them. I think the Yankees, they just need, I think, another pitcher or two, and I think they'll.
Yeah.
That division's getting tough now, though.
It is getting tough. It's
the
really
Orioles
tight.
are a really good baseball team, very young. The Red Sox are average. The Blue Jays are a pretty good baseball team. I don't know what they're going to do. There's rumors they're trying to trade Bo Bichette. I don't know what's true. They tried to get Otani. It didn't work. Couldn't get him up to Canada. He didn't want to go up there. The Rays are always a good baseball team. They don't pay anybody any money, but they always have guys, and they're always a good baseball team. That's a very good division. So the Yankees, they have all the splash guys. I just don't know if they can win with that.
I'm kind of exactly. I'm also glad the Dodgers got Otani, because it'll just prove that the Dodgers will always suck in the postseason. And I also think that contract, what the fuck? That should be illegal.
So
that should be illegal. There's no way you should be able to do that.
So you can say it says, "Oh, we're paying him $700 million," which he's not worth $700 million. I don't. Nobody is worth $700 million in 10 years.
Yeah, he always gets injured too.
Nobody's worth that. And to be honest with you, if I was Shohei Otani and I just signed this deal, I don't know what's in the contract and the fine print, but the fact that the way the contract is structured is kind of BS because you're not going to have to pay a luxury tax based on how much money you just paid one guy.
Yeah.
But if I was him, I would never pitch again.
Right?
He gets hurt.
He can't pitch for.
He's not going to pitch next year.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if he got real Tommy John or if he got like a similar surgery to Tommy John, but I would not pitch again.
Right.
You just got paid all this money. You're not going to pitch. Why wouldn't you just make up some BS about my elbow, this, that, and never pitch again? Or what he should be is just put him in the bullpen.
Yeah.
Because he'll hit every day, and then in the 8th, 9th inning, he could be a closer. Why can't he just be a closer?
Exactly.
Why does he have to go out there and throw 7, 8 innings? If I was him, I'd be a closer. You hit every day, DH. DH is making $700 million. That's a joke, but
right.
I understand the Dodgers are going to make a shit ton of money because of who Otani is and all the clicks and all this crap that happens with Otani. People are going to want to go see him play. That's what happens with big stars.
Yeah.
Mike Trout's the same way. The Angels could be so bad, but if Mike Trout's coming into town, people want to go see him play.
Exactly.
When he's healthy. But I would, as Otani, I would be a DH, and I would just be a closer when I'm allowed to pitch. I would not flirt with starting anymore because you're throwing 120 pitches, and then the next day you're hitting again, and you're hitting the same day as you're pitching, and I don't know. And I don't know if this has anything to do with it, but I mean, he throws righty and he hits lefty. I don't know if that could have. I don't know if that has something to do with the way he swings and his elbow being hurt all the time. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, so I couldn't tell you. But if you're a closer and you're throwing 1, maybe 2 innings, but you could throw more. But if you're the Dodgers, I mean, right now and the way the season has gone in the past, you're not playing a lot of close games that you win.
Yeah.
So how often do you need him to be a closer? He could be a closer half of the year. Throw in 20 games, and then in the playoffs, that's when you're going to use him more.
Exactly.
So you're going to make the playoffs. I mean,
yeah.
Many teams make the playoffs now anyways.
Exactly.
Half the league makes the fucking playoffs. So I don't know. I just don't think he's worth $700 million.
No, he's not. And also, I can't believe Glasnow, which I think that happened last night to the Dodgers. Tyler Glasnow.
Yeah, this morning.
I can't believe it.
Well,
I could believe it, but it's the Dodgers.
I wanted the Cubs to get him because I like him. I've liked him since he's been in the league. He's a very good pitcher.
Yeah.
But then I was thinking about it. I mean, this past year was the most innings he's ever pitched, and it was 120 innings.
Yeah.
He gets hurt a lot.
He does.
He hasn't proven that he's a good pitcher in the postseason. I don't know if he's worth trading for. I don't know who you would have had to give up.
Exactly.
The prospects-wise, the Dodgers gave up. I'm not really sure if they're any good. But Cubs-wise, I don't know who you would have had to give up. But if you would have had to give up Christopher Morel in that deal, I would not have done it, and I'm glad they didn't do it. Because Christopher Morel is the one guy that is untouchable if I'm the Chicago Cubs.
Yeah.
I would not get rid of him for anything. You could offer me Mike Trout, I wouldn't get rid of Christopher Morel.
I mean, Mike Trout's days, he's another guy.
He gets hurt every year. So
exactly.
If he's going to play in 80 games, he's not going to help you.
Yep.
He's going to help you for half the year. He's played in the postseason once.
Yeah.
I'd rather take my chance on a young guy like Morel who has exciting as hell. He's an exciting player to watch. He can play the outfield. He can play third. He can play short. He can play second. You could probably put him at first. He could probably catch for all we know.
Yeah.
You could pitch him too. Probably he'd probably throw 94. So
Yeah.
you can't get rid of Morel.
No. He's valuable.
Very valuable. He was big for the Cubs.
He reminds me of, I don't know who, but kind of just a young guy who's very good. I guess I don't want to say Baez.
It's
but
an easy
you know,
comp to say Baez
Yeah.
just because they're similar, exciting players.
Exactly.
But I mean, Morel's power-wise, I think, can be better than Baez. Defensively, I don't know if he can be Baez. Baez is a very good defender.
Yeah.
But I think just hitting-wise in general, I think Morel has, and even this year, I think he changed some things. He's so, the way of, like, the player that he is, he's so energized and excited all the time.
Mhm.
Like, you see him with his deep breaths.
Yeah.
I think he's starting to, like, he's just an exciting guy, and he wants to make this play and make that play, which he does do that, but he doesn't try to do too much at the plate.
Yeah.
And I think that was Baez's fault. Not fault, but his problem.
Yeah.
But he could get away with that because they had Anthony Rizzo, Chris
Mhm.
Bryant. They had all these guys.
Yep.
Ben Zobrist. Baez didn't need to get on base at a 40% clip. He didn't need to have an on base of 400. He didn't have to do that.
Mhm.
He could do his strikeouts because Ben Zobrist was going to get on base in front of him, or Chris Bryant was up after him. He could hit for power too. Rizzo, all these guys, Schwarber.
Yep.
Baez didn't need to do that kind of stuff. Morel, last year he needed to be the power guy, and he was.
Yeah.
He didn't
For sure.
disappoint.
No, he didn't.
He needs to
And-
play every day, though.
Yeah, he does.
And I think
That's-
Craig Counsell will do that. I don't know if that was a David Ross thing or if that was a front office thing, but
Yeah.
the fact that Christopher Morel sat on the bench and Nick Madrigal played and frickin' Miles Mastroboni played is pathetic.
That is pathetic.
Those guys suck, and they shouldn't even be on the Cubs.
No.
They should go play in Oakland where there's a dog shit team so
Yeah.
they can play 160 games and no one can talk about them
Exactly.
because they're not worth frickin' playing.
No. Not for the Cubs.
And we can talk about how bad of a trade that was for both sides when the White Sox and the Cubs. Cubs got Nick Madrigal and Cody Hoyer. Cody Hoyer was hurt frickin' his whole career with the Cubs. They got rid of him. He's gone. And Craig Kimbrell was dog shit on the White Sox, so it was bad for both teams.
Exactly.
Nick Madrigal, though, he did hit 2 home runs last year, which is probably a career high. So.
Definitely. So, I think that pretty much wraps it up
Baseball.
with baseball. Move on to hockey here, which is a tough one to talk about, but
So early with hockey.
it's really early.
There's
and
some exciting teams.
There are. And the first question I got here is, are the Coyotes actually good? And it's tough. It's early. There's a lot of teams that are bad and are starting to get things going. I personally think hockey, you could have a really good run and be dog shit. You could be dog shit and then be one of the best teams in the league. I mean, there's just obvious teams right now, though, that are built for going to the playoffs, and that's the Golden Knights.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a clear one.
I mean, they won it last year, so they better be
Exactly.
built for it. Colorado won it 2 years ago, I think. They're
Yeah.
built for it. They're going to still be built for it.
And the thing I saw is, the Coyotes beat the last 5 champions in the last 5 years in a row. But shit like that happens in hockey.
Hold on a second. I think they
You know.
played last night another one. I think they played. Did they play the Penguins last night, or was it 2 nights ago?
Penguins.
I saw something about they were playing the last 6 Stanley Cup champs or whatever.
Yeah.
They play it wasn't last night, so it could have been 2 nights ago.
2 nights ago.
3 nights ago, maybe?
Maybe 3 nights. 3 nights. Yeah, they lost the Penguins.
Oh, they lost. So
4-2.
So there goes their streak of winning.
Yeah.
Even though the Penguins won the frickin' Stanley Cup 6 years ago, they're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, they could beat the last 6 Stanley Cups. The Pittsburgh Penguins aren't a good frickin' hockey team
No,
anymore.
they're not.
They're old. Malkin and Crosby. Crosby's still playing very well for
Yeah.
being old,
Yeah.
but they have no young guy. Like the Penguins are not a good hockey team,
No.
but the the Coyotes, they're young. They play in a college arena
Yeah.
that seats fucking 5,000 people
Yeah.
or whatever. I think they're an okay hockey team.
Yeah.
I could see them getting in the playoffs. I don't, but they're not.
They're not gonna. They
They're
have
not
no
going to do
experience.
anything in the
Yeah.
playoffs, especially in the West. I think it's Vegas and Colorado and everybody else in the West. I don't
Yeah.
really.
There's also in hockey, as of right now, there's few teams with like 19, 20 wins, and then everyone else is a few games above 500
Oh,
and all that shit.
it's close. Like
It's
I
all
think
close.
there's 3 teams, and I could be wrong by that. Maybe there might be more teams that are like at the bottom,
Mm-hmm.
but I think there's 3 teams that are just worse than everybody else,
Yeah.
and that is the Chicago Blackhawks. They are awful, and people can. I'm not saying Connor Bedard is bad. I'm not saying he's good either. I don't know. He's a very electric player.
Yeah.
But they're not a good hockey team, and
No.
they're not going to be good this year. They're not going to be good next year either.
Nope.
It's a rebuild.
It is.
So,
That's all it is.
and unless it changes, they're going to have to deal with the Dallas Stars, the Winnipeg Jets, and the Colorado Avalanche in the same division, and even
Yep.
the St. Louis Blues, who historically they're rivals.
Yeah.
That division is not easy.
No. Did
But
the Blues just fire their coach too?
I don't know.
I think so.
They're
Could be wrong,
They're
but
14-14 right now. But
yeah.
the Blackhawks, they're not. They're at the bottom. The Ducks and Ottawa, and you could say the Sharks, but I don't think the Sharks are as bad as everyone thinks.
Yeah, that's the next question we got here. Is
They
are the Sharks' record as bad as their record says? And
they might be as bad as their record says,
Yeah.
but I don't think they're a bottom 3
They're
team in
not.
the league.
I think
They're electric to watch, man.
it's another team. They're young, They got to trade Logan Couture.
Yeah,
He's not doing shit. Tomas Hurdle's the guy.
but
I love that guy.
and this could be the same way where at the beginning of the year they were atrociously bad, obviously, right?
Yeah, they were terrible.
And Tomas Hurdle didn't play. He wasn't playing at the beginning
Yeah.
of the year. But he starts playing and he's scoring a lot of their
Yeah.
goals. But
think-
that's the other thing, though.
Yeah,
If he starts going down, what's the team going to look like? Are
Exactly.
they still going to be scoring goals? They're a team to look at when they play. Depending on the team that they play, the over hits a lot of the time
Yeah.
when they play.
yeah,
They play close. They've played close games too.
yeah. They have.
They've gone down like 2 goals in the second, 2 goals in the third period, and they've crawled their way back in it.
Exactly.
They always answer. They're an electric team to watch. They're not a
They
good
are.
hockey team.
Yeah.
They're not a playoff team. I'm
No.
not saying that.
And the other thing is, it's
But
like
they're
they're only 7 points out of a wild card spot.
yeah, but
It's just so early.
it's too early. Yes, but I just don't. I'm not buying into the first part of the year when they were 0-8 or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm also not buying into the recently where they're scoring all these goals and they're
Exactly.
winning games. I'm not buying into either of those. I think they're a bad team,
Yeah. But they're not.
but I don't think they're as bad as everyone was saying they're going to be the worst hockey team of all time. That is not who they are.
No.
I think there's worse teams in the NHL than they are.
Definitely.
And I named 3 of them.
Yeah.
Ottawa's bad. The
Yeah.
Blackhawks are bad. Yeah, I mean, the Blackhawks yesterday lost 7-1, I think, to the
Yeah.
Kraken. They
Like-
are not a good hockey team.
And another question I got here is, well, first of all, let me just end it on this.
Yep, 7.
The Sharks, I think Tomas Hurdle is credited to about 42% of their goals.
Yeah,
and that is
that's
fucking ridiculous.
Ye-
That's high.
That's like, and I don't know the numbers, but I'm assuming there was a year that Ovechkin scored most of the Caps
Yeah.
goals.
Like, and it's crazy too because Tomas Hurdle's plus he's plus minus. He's still in the minus.
Well,
But
yeah,
the guy,
because
because
they give up a shit ton of goals too,
exactly
and he
Uh,
plays a lot of minutes.
he does.
I think he's on the PK too, which
Yeah,
when you're on the penalty kill, goals like you're gonna give up goals on the power. Like when the other
yeah,
team's on the power play, they're gonna score.
exactly.
But obviously, they're like if he's gonna be on the PK, he's gonna get a minus.
Yeah,
Not most of the time, but say 35% of the
yeah.
time or whatever.
Whatever their penalty
Yeah,
kill percentage
whatever
is,
their
or whatever.
percentage is, he's gonna give up a goal.
Yeah,
And he's gonna get a minus. And their defense, they're just not a good hockey team.
yeah,
And that's how Ovechkin was in a couple of years. They scored a lot of goals.
yeah.
But they also gave up a crap ton of goals at the beginning of Ovechkin's career. They had all the stars, and they were electric to watch, goals, but defense was bad.
Yeah.
And they gave up a lot of goals because of it, and Ovechkin's plus minus was bad.
Yep. That's just
Recently, it's been better.
Yeah. And the next question I had was, how many seasons do you think Ovi has left?
The way the league is now, and it being not as aggressive, not a lot, not as Ovechkin used to fight. He used to get in scraps and be that guy.
Earlier this year, it seems like there was fights every game. It's kind of slowed down a little.
And I kind of liked it because I was like, are we getting back to it?
To what hockey used to be. Yeah.
Because there's always that one, like there's that unwritten rule in hockey where you're gonna go after our guy, and do a cheap shot on him or hit him a little too hard.
Yeah,
we're gonna go after you. We're gonna fight, so we can send a message, and I like that about hockey.
Yep. I remember.
I think Ovi's got at least 2 more. After this.
I think he's gonna be like
he could be
Datsuk
3.
and kind of go to Russia.
I think he could play in Russia till
till he's like 60.
Dude, the guy is probably a freaking icon in Russia. I mean, I love him. I think he's awesome.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He's an exciting player to watch, and the people that hate on him, whatever.
Yeah.
But man, he's just like he's a weird guy too.
Yeah.
He's just like a weird Russian.
It's like these hockey guys.
These stories that I've seen, videos where John Carlson, who also plays on the Caps, talking about, he's on a podcast talking about how he went, John Carlson's Italian.
Yeah.
Goes over, he brings the team over for like a dinner at his mom's house when they were on the road. And Ovechkin, they bring out like there's pasta and chicken, whatever. And Ovechkin's like, you got ketchup? He put ketchup on his fucking pasta noodles instead of pasta sauce. He's using ketchup. He's a fucking weird guy. He supposedly drinks like soda on the bench.
Yeah.
Like
a lot of these players, they got the shit they like to do.
Well, back in the day, I mean, those guys were fucking drinking in the locker room, smoking cigarettes, and the game's just different now.
It is.
These young guys that come in the league, they don't drink, they don't party.
Yeah.
They're all about their body.
Which it's not like that's
nothing wrong with it. The league's just different.
It is.
And that's why I think it's not as much fighting. There's not as much all this because they care about their bodies a lot more.
Yeah. I'm not saying caring about your body's soft, but
Yeah, but guys just don't throw their body out in harm's way like they used to.
Exactly.
There's only a couple guys in the league, and Tom Wilson is one of them.
Yeah.
And
he's been electric.
He's got 10 goals this year. I mean, the guy's the greatest goal scorer of all time, man.
Yeah.
Freaking, he's got more goals than Ovi this year.
Yeah, maybe he's better than Ovi. Who knows? Of all time.
Okay. But I think he's got 2 more after this one. I think he could play in 3 if he wanted to.
Yeah.
But it all depends. If he stays, I think he'll beat Gretzky's record. I'm not buying into why isn't he scoring right now? It happens.
Exactly.
But the thing with him is he might not be scoring right now, and then all of a sudden he's going to hit a freaking tear where he scores freaking 10 goals in 4 games, and no one's going to be talking about how he went 10 games or whatever without scoring.
Yeah, I still think they're, I wouldn't say figuring it out, but...
Oh, their team is not...
Yeah.
I don't know if they're good or not.
Exactly, and Oshie, man, that guy is fucking slow on the ice. He used to be awesome. I used to love watching that
He's
guy play.
I don't know what it is. He got a little banged up this year too. Yeah, I don't know if he might have missed only one game, but that's how hockey players are.
Yeah.
They don't miss a lot of games. They get freaking slap shots to the face, go
Yeah.
get stitches in the locker room, and go
and
back
come
out there.
in.
But
It's not like the NBA.
no, you get hit in the face and you're down for 45 fucking minutes. But
Oh fuck! You poked my eye. Let
I
me
mean,
lay
there's
down
guys
here for
like
an
hockey
hour.
guys that broke their leg and they stay out there and
Yeah.
then they skate off the ice like nothing happened. It's like
Right.
these guys are crazy. But
That's why hockey's awesome, honestly.
yeah, I don't know if the Caps are good. I like watching them. They've
Yeah.
been. Yesterday was a tough one. They should have won the game against the Flyers and they blew it, but they still get a point. Lost in a shootout, but
Yeah.
I think they're an okay team. I think they can make the playoffs. I don't know if they can do anything.
Yeah.
It all depends on if Ovi can get to that level of scoring that he's been at for the
Yeah.
last 10 years.
See, like in hockey, you just gotta stay consistent,
Oh yeah,
and I think you do need a good fucking goalie.
oh
Like
yeah,
the Sharks, I think that's something. That and their defense
and
is really bad. A goaltender is a big thing to have. In
Caps
hockey.
wise, Darcy Kemper can be a very good goalie.
Yeah.
The other thing with the Caps is they got a new coach. They're learning a brand new. It's a possession system. It's
Yeah.
not the dump and chase crap that they used to do
Uh-huh.
all the time with Laviolette. It's a lot of possession game and all that stuff. They're learning a lot. And at the beginning of the year, you saw it. They were turning the puck over a lot in their own zone. And
Yeah.
but we'll see if Darcy Kemper and the backup's Lindgren, I think. If they can stay healthy, I think they can be a good team.
Yeah.
Their power play numbers also aren't as good this year yet.
Uh-huh.
So once those start getting going and Ovi starts getting his goals from his office, I think they'll be okay. But you just never know with hockey.
Exactly.
Someone could get banged up and the season can go to crap.
To wrap up hockey here, we got our last question is how special do you think Connor Bedard is? Or is he even special?
I think he's a transcend
Yeah.
he's a very good player.
He is.
I think
People say,
I don't know if he's on Connor McDavid's level.
No.
I don't know if he's on those Sidney Crosby's level.
It's obviously too early to
It's
kinda
way too early.
to say,
But as a prospect, he was looked at as Connor McDavid,
Yeah.
Sidney Crosby.
exactly.
So that's who the guys you have to compare him to
yeah,
because that's who they said he was at this level.
yeah,
I'm not going to compare him to a guy that was the 30th round, like some low-level draft pick. I'm not comparing him to those guys.
yeah,
I got to compare him to the guys that all the NHL pundits said that he was on the level of.
yeah.
I don't know if he's going to be good. It's too early.
It is. It's just too early.
He's electric to watch.
Yeah,
He's got great handles with the puck, stick handles. He can score. He can shoot from anywhere. I just don't know. He's kind of small, man.
he is small.
And the league's different now.
Yeah,
If he came in the league when Crosby and Ovechkin came in the league, I don't think he would be in the league that long.
no,
Because Crosby's bigger than him, I think.
yeah. He's definitely bigger, way bigger.
Bedard's small,
He's
man.
tiny. I remember. I think.
Marchand babied him a couple times when they played the Bruins.
that was fucking awesome.
But that's the other thing. There's not many guys in the league anymore where it's not going to get in his head because Marchand's like one of the only guys in the league that still does that crap.
Exactly. And I remember seeing a clip the other day. I think they were playing Tampa Bay, and someone hit a guy in the Hawks, and Bedard came over. He's fucking tiny. Looks like he's gonna do something, and Stamkos was like trying to protect Bedard. Because he was trying to be like, why the fuck are you hitting my guy?
But there's nothing like I'm fine with that if he wants to do that crap.
Well,
like there's been guys that are small
exactly
that freaking fight and do crap.
It was funny because he skated over there. He's like, it kind of looked like, oh, why are you hitting my guy, sir? like it's just shit like that. It's just funny. But hey,
I think
stand up for your
I think he's gonna be good.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna be a good hockey player. I just don't know if he'll be a Sidney Crosby or Connor McDavid. I don't know yet. I didn't think, personally, I thought the Russian guy that was drafted by the Flyers, who I wanted him on the Caps so bad. He was one spot away. And if he would have got to the Caps, he would be playing right now.
Absolutely.
Because Ovi would have got his ass here.
Yeah.
But I thought he's a more finished product, I think, than Bedard was. Because I just think the Russian guy is just a little bit better of a hockey player.
Yeah.
Bedard's flashier. I'm not saying he's not.
Yeah, he is.
Like, he's a very flashy player. He scores the goals. He's a great passer. He can do all that. I just don't know defensively what he's going to be able to do.
Yeah.
He's small.
Kind of reminds me of Patrick Kane a little bit.
Patrick Kane can't play defense.
Yeah.
And he's been in the league for a long time.
Yeah.
But Patrick Kane also didn't get hit. So I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know what it is with that. But there's guys that come in the league that get lit up. Like, Ovi always he had to hit guys and people hit him. Like, that's what happens. Sidney Crosby, double the same thing. Evgeny Malkin, done with the same thing.
Yeah.
But Patrick Kane, I felt like he's maybe gotten hit 5 times in his career. He got lit up once or twice. I saw a video and I was like, finally.
Yeah.
But no one ever went after him, and I don't
it's
know
like
if
an unwritten rule.
But I don't know if
I
it's
hit
because he's like, his stick handles are great too. I don't know if it's because they're worried that he's gonna make a move and then they're gonna look like a bunch of idiots for missing a hit.
Yeah.
But it seems like they could hit him square on and they just don't do it.
Yeah.
Same with Bedard. He's kind of ran away from a couple hits.
Yeah.
And
turns his back on him.
Oh, yeah, and you don't want to do that, especially with I don't think a Ryan Reeves or a Tom Wilson are going to go after a Bedard. But if they are, because you did some fucked up shit, like a high stick to the wrong guy or something.
And who knows, maybe
if you turn your back on one of those guys, you're going to be seriously injured.
Maybe the NHL tells these guys, don't hit him. He's good for business.
It could be a fine thing. It could be a suspension thing. I mean, Tom Wilson had to deal with that. He was suspended for like a shit ton of games. And I was like, why is this guy being suspended for so long? And then he does one other thing and everyone wants him kicked out of the league.
Yeah.
If I was a hockey player, I would want to be like Tom Wilson.
Yeah.
You love to have him on your team and you hate him being on the team you're playing against.
Exactly.
That's the kind of guy you want to be. I don't think you want... And it's good for your brand and for hockey, whatever. If you're like, oh, everyone loves me, like Connor McDavid.
Yep.
And Crosby was liked, except by me. I didn't like him because I'm an Ovi guy.
Yeah.
But it's probably great for the NHL and for you and for making money. But I'd rather be a Tom Wilson than anyone else. Because everyone hates him.
Everyone does.
Except for Caps fans.
Yeah. This is how it is. All right, so that wraps that up with hockey.
What's next?
We're gonna move on
NFL.
Football, NFL, and I'm gonna go over last week's games real quick. Just a little refresher here. Obviously Thursday night last week, Patriots Steelers. I mean, I just think two teams that their offense is absolutely horrible, but it could be good.
Yeah,
I think the Patriots have a pretty solid defense. I don't think it's that bad.
I think the Patriots' defense is very good.
Yeah.
I think, and, I mean, we can talk about the Patriots. I don't think Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi are as bad as everyone thinks they are.
No.
I think Mac Jones is a very good quarterback, and he proved that in college.
Yeah.
I think he has no wide receivers.
Yeah, I mean...
I'm sorry, but, and I continue to say this, I think if Mac Jones was on the Miami Dolphins, they would be just as good. Yeah. And if Tua was on the Patriots, it'd be the same way. And Tua his career might be over because he might have gotten hit in the head too many times.
Yeah.
But I think Mac Jones is just as good, if not better, than Tua.
Yeah.
He just doesn't have the wide receivers to prove it.
Uh-huh. I think the Patriots and Steelers, I think, are better than the Patriots.
Oh, they're a better football
obviously.
Team. But it's football. That shit happens
exactly.
all the time.
I think the Steelers have a very good wide receiver core.
They just don't have a quarterback to get the
Exactly.
ball.
Um,
Kenny Pickett is an average NFL
yeah,
quarterback. He's the definition of a game manager, but
Yeah.
he's really not good at that either.
yeah,
He's okay.
he's had what 1-2 passing touchdown games.
Yeah, one or two touchdown passing games. And see, it's the same with the Steelers every year, though. If you look at it, like when they're an underdog at home, they always seem to win those games against
Yeah.
like the Ravens and
Yeah,
a home underdog. And then the next week this year, they were like a favorite against Houston in Houston, and they lost. They
Yeah.
got killed. That's what happened. That's the Pittsburgh Steelers and Mike Tomlin. That's what happens with them.
Yeah.
That shit happens all the time with
don't-
the Steelers.
I wonder what's going to happen next year with Tomlin or the Steelers in general.
I think if Tomlin gets fired, it's a joke.
It is.
But he is going to
He's a great
find it.
coach.
He's going to find a job instantly.
Yeah.
I just think Mike Tomlin needs to just maybe he needs to just get a better offensive coordinator, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Go into college and go get a college offensive coordinator that's at the top.
Exactly.
Or go get a better quarterback that doesn't wear 2 gloves on his fucking hands.
Yeah, that's a little. I just think that shit's
I don't like
ridiculous.
that.
2
I
fucking
think
gloves.
it's because he's got small hands. Can't fucking hold a
Small
football.
hands.
He needs the grip on his gloves.
Yeah.
Small hands, pick it.
Yeah.
All right, who's next?
Next we got
I don't like
Bucks Falcons and Desmond Ritter threw for 340. I don't know. 347 yards passing.
and they lost, right?
Yeah,
Bucks won.
with only 1 touchdown and he had an interception as well. Bucks won 29-25. And
To be honest with
the Falcons gave him the game though. There was like a
you, yeah.
pick 6 for like 5 yards, I think. or
Well,
some
yeah,
shit
and
like
they
that.
let the Bucks go down the field and score a touchdown with 30 seconds left
Exactly.
or whatever. That division is just so bad. I really
It
have
is.
nothing to say. Whoever makes the playoffs, it's going to be just like the Bucks last year.
Yeah,
They made the playoffs and they got blown out by the Cowboys the
Yep.
first game. That's what's going to happen.
that is.
Whoever makes the playoffs in that division is if they win a playoff game, I would be shocked.
Yeah,
They're not. The gambling spread for that game in the playoffs, whoever wins that division will be a 6 or 7 point underdog.
Yeah.
Depending on who they play.
Next game was the Lions-Bears, and the Bears beat the Lions 28-13. Justin Fields threw for 223 yards and a touchdown. DJ Moore had 6 receptions for 68 yards and a touchdown. And that game was, I mean, what do you think? You think the Lions lost their spark, or what do you? 'Cause they're kind of in a rut right now. The Lions, they kind of suck.
I think
Like it looks
it's
like
just
the Lions
they're
last
getting
year.
sloppy, man. I think they know they're better than some teams, and they
Yeah.
go into games and they turn the ball over a little too much. And they proved against the Bears the first time they were down 12 points with like 4 minutes left or whatever, and they came back and won the game. So they were like, "Oh, we can just go into this game. Bears suck, whatever."
Yeah.
And Jared Goff has not been as good as he has been this season.
Yeah.
Like at the beginning of the year, he's struggled a little bit more.
Yeah.
He's turning the ball over. That fumble on the fucking snap under center was one of the worst things I've ever seen. And, the Bears, I don't think the Bears are a good football team either.
No.
I think.
mean, how
and
do you only score 13 points, though, as the Lions? Like, what the hell?
well, yeah,
Like,
because
that's just pathetic.
Jared Goff couldn't throw the football.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with him.
I
but-
could be wrong, but I think he was wearing 2 gloves that game.
No, he wasn't.
I think he was.
He might have put him on after the fumble. I don't know. The Bears are. I think they should move on from Justin Fields, but that's just me personally.
They're not going to, and they're also not. Eberflus is going to be the head coach next year.
and that's bad.
And that's fucking hilarious.
he is
It's actually
not.
awesome.
And I think Brandon Staley will be the defensive coordinator next year. All right, so
And
bookmark that for you. Brandon Staley will be the defensive coordinator for the Bears next year.
All right.
God, yeah, I don't want to talk about the Bears. So.
Yeah. The next game was the Colts-Bengals. Bengals beat the Colts 34-14. Browning, who's been playing actually pretty well, 275 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. I will say Joe Mixon has helped this offense a lot. He's starting to, which he didn't
Yeah.
at the beginning of the year. But 79 yards and a touchdown with 21 carries. I mean, I think Mixon's doing his thing now, and I mean, I don't think the Bengals are. I mean, I don't think Browning's going to be enough.
No.
Just that team in general, even with Burrow.
Yeah. I think he's got great receivers.
Yeah.
Right now, he's got a good running back, serviceable running back that is going to ground and pound and run, and he's going to get you some yards.
Yeah.
That helps a lot. And that's the thing with the Bengals compared to, say, the Chargers. With a backup quarterback, I think it's a lot easier for the Bengals to bring a guy in and plug and play and still be able to win. I don't know if they'll make. I think they might make the playoffs, but I don't think they're going to do anything in the playoffs. It all depends. I mean, I still think the Steelers are going to make the playoffs, but that could just be me being dumb.
Yeah.
But the Colts aren't a good football team.
Yeah, they're not terrible. But
Gardner Minshew is okay.
Enough. Yeah.
What's next? Let's not talk about this game.
Yeah, that's fucking dog shit.
Fuck Joe Flacco. We're not talking about him. Let's talk about the Jets.
Oh yeah, Texans. Jets beat the Texans 30-6. Zach Wilson with a fucking career game, 301 yards, 2 touchdowns. Garrett Wilson 9 receptions for 108. Just fucking. Zach Wilson's the guy again, I guess, now.
Well, he's the guy, and then he's not the guy.
Yeah.
That's New York sports, though.
If Wilson was
one
consistent...
week he's the guy, 1 week he's not the guy. That's New York sports. They'll take you.
Yeah.
They'll love you 1 week and hate you the next. That's just how it is.
I think if Wilson was consistent this whole season, Rodgers would be back in 2 weeks. Or a week.
I think it's wild to me that this guy's practicing right now. But... to be honest with you, I think Zach Wilson and I think Nathaniel Hackett is a bad offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
But I think the only way they could have got Rodgers to go there was to bring him in.
Yep.
I think he would have retired if Hackett wasn't in New York.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, I think if Zach Wilson was on the 49ers,
yeah,
I think they would be just as good. I don't know the difference between Brock Purdy and Zach Wilson. They're very similar quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I think Kyle Shanahan's system helps these. Look at Jimmy G. Not Trey Lance, but Jimmy G and Brock Purdy. Jimmy G brought that team to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He sucks.
He does. Look at him.
The system helps these guys. And they should have won that Super Bowl against the Chiefs. They were winning.
Yeah. Fucking, what's it called? Damn, Garoppolo. He got signed for 2 years, right? And for the Raiders, or 1 year?
Yeah, I think it was a 2-year deal or 3-year deal.
$1 million. And isn't Aiden O'Connell starting over him?
Yeah, he doesn't play anymore. Jimmy G, I don't even know if he fucking dresses. And the whole reason he went there was because of Josh McDaniels and because he's a Patriots guy, and Jimmy G was his backup under Brady, so let's bring him in. That obviously didn't work for the Raiders. Josh McDaniels is an awful head coach.
Terrible.
And in 5 years, he'll probably get another head coaching job somehow, and he'll fuck up again because it never works for him. But he makes all this fucking money doing it, and they keep doing the same thing. That's the problem with the NFL. It's the same fucking guys. Recycle business with coaches.
Next game we got here is, I think this was one of the best games for sure this last week, and that was Rams-Ravens. Ravens won 37-31.
Rams should have won. That game.
Kyron Williams, another great game.
I think the Rams without him are way worse.
I guess
Kyron Williams is a very good running back, and I'm not just saying that.
The Rams found what they needed, and it was a running back.
And not even that. They just need a guy that's going to be able to catch the ball, pass protection, run it for 4 or 5 yards, a carry.
Yep.
Kyron Williams is that guy, and a lot of scouts did not like him. They're like, oh, don't waste a pick on this guy. He's too small. He's not this. He's not that. I'm sorry, but the whole NFL Combine thing is a little overrated.
It is.
The 40-yard dash in shorts and a fucking T-shirt proves nothing to me.
You're right.
Yeah, you're fast, but put the pads on. Let's see how you pass protect. Let's see how you do this and do that. Let's see how you go up as a wide receiver, go up and catch a 50-50 ball against a corner that's all over you.
Yep.
The Combine is a little overrated, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
And it proves the same. Kyle Hamilton should have been a top 10 pick, in my opinion, safety. He fell in the draft because they looked at his Combine numbers a little too much, and they let him fall to the Ravens, which is a good team, and he's in their defense is unreal right now, and he's one of the best safeties in the league.
Yep. Next game here, got Vikings Raiders. Biggest worst game of the year. 3-0 Vikings win.
What an exciting game to watch.
It's crazy that the fucking Raiders, who lost 3-0 last night,
they put up
scored
63 points.
63 points. I guess that made up.
That's what I'm talking about, though, with the NFL. It's a week-to-week league.
Yep.
Every week is different. And they put up 0 points last week, and this week they put up 63.
Yep.
All right.
We're back.
What's next game?
We're back here. Okay. Not much to talk about this one. Seahawks, Niners, just...
Yeah, I mean, the Niners
same shit every week.
A better football team than the Seahawks. Seahawks aren't that good. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't think they're that good. They won't make the playoffs, I don't think.
No. Yeah, there's not much to talk about.
No.
It's just the same shit.
Niners are the best team in the NFC, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's close, though. I think if the Cowboys played the Niners in Dallas, I think they might win that game.
Yeah.
So I think that the beginning of the year game can be overlooked a little bit because the Cowboys got blown out, but I don't think you should talk about that game too much.
Yeah.
It was so early, but what's after that? What's the next game after
Bills
that?
Chiefs, probably one of the most controversial games of the year. A lot of Chiefs games are, though.
Every Chiefs game is kind of controversial with no calls and I think it's just because they're always nationally televised, so everyone's going to talk about them.
Exactly,
it's the Chiefs. They won the Super Bowl last year. They're going to talk about them.
Yeah.
Bills have looked better. I think if they find themselves in the playoffs, which I think they will, I just don't know if they'll ever be able to get over that hump.
Yeah, they've been...
Because every year they're like, oh, this is the Super Bowl favorite, and they're so good, and Josh Allen's so good, and then they can't beat the Chiefs in the playoffs. They can't beat the Bengals in the playoffs. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I think there's one team in the AFC that is better than all the other teams in the AFC.
Who's that?
And that is the Ravens.
You think they're the best?
I think they have the best defense, and I think it's just all going to depend on Lamar Jackson. He's thrown the ball. He's thrown the ball a lot better this year. I just don't think he's a great quarterback.
Yeah, I agree.
He can run the shit out of the ball, extends plays like Fields. I just don't think he is a quarterback that can win a Super Bowl. Yeah. But I could be wrong.
Next game here. Broncos, Chargers. I mean, the Chargers are just fucking blow.
Yeah, they're bad.
But the Broncos, I will say, they look pretty good.
I think they're going to make the playoffs.
Me too. And it's crazy to think that if the Chargers were pretty good this year, there's a chance the Chiefs, it'd be pretty damn close.
Yeah, it'd be a good division. Everyone thought it was going to be a good division. It's really not.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Raiders are bad. The Chargers are bad. The Broncos are average. The Chargers, though, man. I mean, everyone going into the year was, their roster's so good. They're a playoff team and all this, but they still had that shitty fucking coach that they finally fired.
Yep.
That blew a 27.
Fired him today.
They blew a 27-point lead in the playoffs to the Jags. Trevor Lawrence's first career playoff start came back down 27. That can't happen.
Yeah.
And if Justin Herbert wants to be a top quarterback in the league, that can't happen.
No.
and their coaching was really bad.
I'm pretty sure the Chargers have had the worst, or at least given up the most passing yards since week 1.
Probably. I mean, Tua threw for like 350 against them the first week, I think. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Their defense is not. Their front seven is pretty good. They got good pass rushers, but their secondary is really bad.
Yeah.
They're not a good football team, and yeah, they might have a flashy roster, but that doesn't mean much, man.
No.
You got to go out there and beat football teams, and Herbert has been banged up, but I just don't know if he's that good of a quarterback either.
Yeah.
Might be overhyped.
Next game was probably one of my favorite games of the week, and that's Eagles Cowboys.
Yeah, it was one of my favorite games of the week too, because the
Cowboys
won.
just shoving it up the Eagles' ass and saying, "We're here and we're gonna beat you."
Yeah,
and they should have won the last time. The Eagles gave them the game.
Yeah, they should have won. They fucked up a lot in that last drive. Dak took some dumb penalties.
Yeah.
That can't happen. But I think Dak right now is the MVP, and I don't think it's even close. I don't think Brock Purdy should be in the conversation.
If you're gonna give it to Brock Purdy, you can't. You got to give it to one of their receivers,
dude.
Or
McCaffrey. I think there's 4 guys that should be in the running for the MVP.
3 too. You might be the same as me, but
it's Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, that's me.
Christian McCaffrey, Dak, and Lamar. That is it. Yeah. No one else should be in. I don't give a shit if Jalen Hurts if Jalen Hurts becomes the 1 seed. Somehow the Eagles still get the 1 seed. He should not win the MVP because this guy gets pushed into the end zone for most of his touchdowns. All his rushing touchdowns are like him getting pushed in.
Yeah,
he doesn't even fucking run in. His stats are so skewed.
His fucking passing stats are the exact same as Jordan Love's.
He's just not as. I just don't think he's. Like last year, he was really good. Like Jalen Hurts was really good last year, and I listened to a podcast that was talking about how this year, before the year, he was talking about how Jalen Hurts would have a little bit of a slump, a sophomore type slump. Second year as a starter, that's what you got from him right now. Exactly. He's turning the ball over a lot. He's not trusting his arm as much. He's holding on to the ball a little too long.
Yeah, and they showed.
I don't know. And their defense, the Eagles' defense is bad, man.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll be in the Super Bowl. I think it's going to be Niners, Cowboys in the NFC Championship.
Yeah. Yeah, it should be.
And then what's next? The Monday night games.
Yeah. Titans, Dolphins. That one first. That was.
I barely watched that game. If I'm being honest.
But what a fucking ending.
Holy shit. I mean, how did the Dolphins lose that game? And I kind of like Mike McDaniel.
I like
he's
him
like
too.
A weird
I like that about him.
But he's a good offensive mind.
Yeah.
Like he knows his shit. He's from the Kyle Shanahan, Mike Shanahan tree. He learned from those guys.
Yeah.
But damn, man, that can't happen.
No.
You can't blow that game.
You can't.
I don't think there's coaches in the league that are like a Belichick anymore, and like those guys they win games for their team. I don't think that's. I think a lot of the coaches are just fucking average.
They are. Yeah, there's
no great coaches anymore.
Yeah.
Mike McCarthy is an okay. I wouldn't say he's a good coach.
No.
He
fucked up the Packers a
lot.
And he's fucked up the Cowboys in the
Nick
playoffs.
Sirianni is one of the most hateable coaches I've ever seen in my life. I fucking hate that guy. He is the most punchable face I've ever seen.
He is. He's a piece of shit.
Him and, to be honest with you, Craig Counsell's got a very punchable face too.
Yeah.
He looks like he deserves to get punched in the face. But he's my guy now, so I can't talk shit.
Yeah, exactly. Can't talk shit now.
But yeah, I think the Dolphins. I think they'll still win the division, but the Bills are coming up there.
Yeah.
If the Bills win the division somehow, that is the Dolphins haven't beat any good teams.
They've been bad in December though.
When a team gets physical with the Dolphins, they struggle.
Yep.
They play the Cowboys. They play the Bills again. You saw what happened against them when the Bills played them the first time. Bills got physical, and they blew them out.
Yep.
I could see the Dolphins losing some games, but I don't know. I think they'll win the division still, and I could see the Jets maybe winning this week. You never know.
Yeah,
They
you
could
never
be
know.
turning a corner.
Never know.
Don't let them sneak in the playoffs and get Aaron Rodgers back.
Yeah.
Let's just say that.
And last game, Packers-Giants, which was just...
Packers gave them the game, man.
They need to fire Joe Barry. He is...
You could talk about this game more than me because you're
was-
a Packers guy. But
That was the most embarrassing thing that I've ever seen Monday Night Football end a game.
he's bad, man.
He is atrocious.
And I'll continue. I don't like prevent defense.
Dude, they need 3 points.
It's screwed. Prevent defense screwed one of my teams.
Yeah.
And I'm not actually. I am gonna say it. Notre Dame against Ohio State. Prevent defense on that last drive screwed them because the whole game they were blitzing, they were press coverage, man to man, all this crap, and they're giving them all these yards. Ohio State goes down the field, scores to win the game.
Yep.
As time expires, that crap happens with prevent defense because you're allowing them to go down the field.
Exactly.
Especially in college when the freaking clock stops on a first down.
Yeah.
It's different. But prevent defense, I think, obviously, I don't know. I'm not a defensive coordinator. I never played football. But
same.
freaking, personally, I would just run the same defense I've been running and rush 4, maybe rush 5.
Exactly.
And just don't get beat deep. I understand you don't want to give up a home run play, but that shouldn't happen. Just don't get beat deep. You got to tackle the guy inbounds and don't let him freaking throw these crosser routes for 25 yards
Exactly.
in the middle of the field, and then he runs out of bounds. And there's no one near the freaking guy.
Yeah.
That shit happens all the time with prevent defense.
And I guess, you could say, Jordan Love's interception. There's all these things. But when you're winning the game at the end of the game, and all you need is a stop.
One
with
stop.
What?
A minute and a half,
Yeah.
maybe. I don't know how much time was
I think
left.
it was like a minute something. You can't just let them throw the ball and get 10 yards every pass.
Yeah. I don't know.
To get into field goal range. It's an embarrassment. The guy needs to get fired. Maybe, Bill Belichick could be the defensive coordinator next year.
He'll be.
He'll be a head coach though.
I don't think the Patriots should fire him.
Yeah, I think it's ridiculous.
Come on, the guy won 6 Super Bowls with you, and I understand he had Tom Brady, but when he he's going to go be a head coach somewhere else, and then he's going to be the all-time winningest coach in NFL history.
Maybe the Commanders.
Do you want him to do that with another team, though? Do you want him to become the winningest NFL coach with another team?
Exactly.
Or would you rather him do that for you in New England? They should not get rid of him. I think he needs... There's some things he needs to change. There's a lot of this is on him, the way their team is right now. But you can't. The Patriots won 6 Super Bowls with Bill Belichick and Brady.
Yeah.
Let Bill Belichick, who gives a shit right now?
Right.
Let him just frickin' continue until he doesn't want to do it anymore.
Right.
That's what I would do.
I also think Patriots going to beat the Chiefs
This
week.
week,
I think.
Oof.
I got them by 3. I just
so?
feel like I think something's gonna happen, man.
I think
it's either gonna.
I think it'll be closer than people think, but because the Patriots game, they have a good defense, but I just don't. I don't know if they're gonna score.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
The Chiefs' defense is good, man.
It could really go either way.
Chiefs' defense is good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, now get into the questions here.
Yeah.
And the first one is Jordan Love the future for Green Bay?
It's early, but
It is early.
I think he is. I
He's
think he's learned from one of the best in Aaron Rodgers.
Mhm.
I think his weapons are getting better on the outside. They're
Absolutely.
young too.
yeah,
I think
which is good. I think.
I think if they can go get a veteran receiver in the offseason, I think Jordan Love's going to be the guy, but I don't know if he's going to be on the level that Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers were.
We'll see.
But
Obviously,
I think he'll be the quarterback in Green Bay long
I
term.
just have a really weird feeling that we're gonna either trade or sign a huge wide receiver. Like, could you imagine
That'd be good.
Devontae Adams?
Well, he ain't going back.
I know, but
He'd go to the
like
Jets.
I could see a guy.
I think
You
he's
could
a
sign a
Rodgers
guy
guy,
like
not a Packers guy.
Gabe Davis. I think he's gonna be a free agent.
Yeah.
Tyler Boyd,
But yeah, but
like a guy like that.
Gabe Davis isn't a wide receiver one.
Yeah, I know.
But
for
that's a guy that you need like he's a guy that Josh Allen goes to, I think, more than Diggs when he needs a first down. He goes to Gabe Davis more than Diggs. And they got a good tight end, Musgrave, right?
Yeah, Musgrave. They got a few. Tucker Kraft, Musgrave, Sims.
They use the tight ends a lot. Musgrave is going to be a good tight end in the league. I think he's going to be the guy. I think they're going to be good. They're going to be fine.
That's why I was so pissed off.
Their defense just needs to be a little bit better.
Yeah,
and I think they need a new coordinator.
They do. I was just pissed off that the Packers did not draft Michael Mayer. I've been pissed off since that.
Dude, if he was in that system,
he would be unreal. Matt LaFleur, dude, fucking Notre Dame guy.
Yeah. Well, he coached there for one fucking year.
Yeah, I know. But he went there. I forgot who he went to see. But he was like scouting at a Notre Dame game. How do you not see? Oh, Michael Mayer, this tight end. Who we use a lot of tight ends.
Yeah,
in Notre Dame, this is how they're using him as like a.
He was the number one wide receiver. Yeah. Yeah, he'd be. I think he'd make the team a lot better. He's a great blocker too. Everyone was trying to say that he's not a good blocker. The people that say that did not watch Notre Dame football. Yeah. I watch every fucking game. I'm a Notre Dame fan.
Yeah.
Michael Mayer is going to be one of the top tight ends in the league. He's a very good tight end. Baby Gronk, they called him at Notre Dame because he wore 87. All right, watch out. That's all I have to say.
Next one we got here is who will win the MVP, and I think we already said that. It's Dak Prescott. It's Dak Prescott. He should.
They're gonna, especially their next 4 games, if they go 3-1, he's winning the MVP.
Oh yeah.
I think they're gonna win out though, and I think they're gonna get the 1 seed. If the Cowboys get the 1 seed, they don't lose at home.
No.
So if they get the 1 seed, watch out because if San Francisco has to go to Dallas, that's going to be tough. Philly, they're not going to be able to go to Dallas and win because their defense is so bad. But I think watch out. If the Cowboys get the 2 or the 3 seed, or they don't win the division and the Eagles win the division, it's going to be the same. They're not going to win. They're not going to do anything. And I would like them to because that'd be awesome because they haven't been they're kind of relevant, but they haven't been like relevant in a long time.
Yeah.
But I just if they don't get home field, I don't see them winning.
Yeah, same. Next question we got here is what will Belichick do or what will the Patriots do with Belichick? We kind of talked about that a little bit, but I mean, they basically, I wouldn't say confirmed, but
it's kind of confirmed that he's gone.
Yeah.
There's reports that he's going to be gone.
Yeah.
There's a lot of time left for them to make a decision, though. They can change their mind. They're not going to fire him mid-season, so.
I mean,
I think he should stay, but.
Yeah, he should. But if the Patriots let him go,
Commanders.
I think the Commanders they're going to, Ron Rivera's going to be gone.
Yeah, he's gone. They already said he's gone.
Eberflus, well, he's going to stay because we know how the Bears are. But
yeah, I think he'll go to the Washington football team or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
I think he'll go there. New ownership there. I think they want to win. They need to bring in a coach that is proven to win, and I think they'll do that if the Patriots get rid of Belichick.
Yeah, for sure.
And if they do, then I would not be shocked if they go get Mike Vrabel.
Yeah.
I don't know what the Titans are paying him, but he's a Patriots guy. Sure. I could see him going there.
Next question is, what's the playoff bracket going to look like here? I mean, there's obviously, I think teams that are automatically going to be in the playoffs, which is
Eagles, NFC, Eagles, Cowboys, Niners automatically in.
I think
they might all have clinched by now. I don't even know.
Yeah, for sure. I think
I think the Bucks are going to win their division. I think the
Bucks.
Bucks win that division. And then Packers and the Rams.
Yeah,
And the Lions. Lions win that division.
Yeah.
And the Lions.
I think the Vikings, they may lose out.
The Vikings?
They may lose out.
They
just look really bad.
I don't know what their quarterback situation is. I feel bad for Josh Dobbs because I felt like they kind of, like he was good at first and then he had one bad game and they're like, all right, see ya, you're done.
Yeah.
And I think the less you give Josh Dobbs, the better he's going to be.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of what he does. He goes to a team and he doesn't know all the plays, he doesn't know all this, but he's just bam, bam, bam. This is what we're gonna do, and he wins. He does good that way.
Yeah.
When he's got to learn a system, I don't know if that's something he's good at. That's why, I think he'd be a pretty good backup. But
yeah, definitely.
I think Nick Mullins, that's who the guy.
Yeah.
He's not good,
he's
man.
Not.
And that's just, the NFL, man. A lot of these fucking quarterbacks suck.
They do suck. It's changed.
Cam Newton is right.
Yeah.
All these guys are game managers. There's not a lot of game changers in the NFL.
At least not yet, because there's a lot of young quarterbacks.
Oh yeah, but
yeah,
I think
right.
the three best quarterbacks in the league, two of them are hurt.
Yep.
Aaron Rodgers, Kirk Cousins, and Matthew Stafford, I think, are the three best quarterbacks in the NFL.
Yeah.
Quarterbacks. I'm not talking about being able to run and all that crap, because that helps, but I just don't think that you can be in the NFL for that long to do that.
Like this.
Lamar Jackson gets hurt all the time.
Yeah.
That's what he does.
Exactly.
Justin Fields, I don't think he's going to be good in the NFL.
Like the Niners. They have a really good team with the right pieces and the right
and you just need an average quarterback
system, and they got Brock Purdy, who's not special at all.
If you put him on a different team, he's not doing what he does now. A lot of his, I think it was 49% of his passing yards are after the catch. So wide receivers catching the ball and running. He's not throwing the ball down the field. He's doing the dink and dunk crap that Patrick Mahomes does too.
Yeah.
And then they take it for 30 yards.
Yep.
Debo takes it to the house. It says 65-yard touchdown pass, but he's throwing the ball 5 yards, but he gets the 60 because Debo.
That's the thing, man.
That's why stats are
an MVP should be
different.
If you win the MVP, you should be able to say, okay, you take this guy out the team, put him on some other team, he should still be good, but that's not Brock Purdy.
No,
it's not.
I think Dak. That's why I think Dak's the MVP, because I think if you take Dak off the Cowboys and you put him on the Jets or something, I think the Jets are a playoff team easily. They could win that division with Dak.
Same with if you put him on the Lions, Vikings.
Oh, yeah. I think Dak, he's a very good quarterback.
Yeah.
He's not a game changer, but he's a very good game manager, and he's going to make plays down the stretch to win you football games.
I think the Rams and Packers are going to be in the playoff.
Yeah,
Vikings are done.
Don't let the Rams make the playoffs. I think the Rams can, because Matthew Stafford is a very good quarterback, and
you just got to stay healthy.
Yeah, if he stays healthy and Kyron Williams stays healthy the rest of the year, they have good receivers. Puka Nacua is a very good receiver.
Yep.
Cooper Kupp stays healthy. That defense isn't bad either. They hung with the Ravens, and the Ravens are going to probably be the 1 seed in the AFC.
Yeah. I know I'm a Packers fan, but I did have a theory that the Bears are going to win out.
No.
The only reason I think that is because, I think they're going to lose to the Browns too, though. But I had a feeling that it's going to be similar to last year. Packers-Lions, last game of the year. Packers-Bears, last game of the year for this year. I feel like there's just some dumb shit's going to happen.
Maybe, but I mean, they're playing a lot better. The Bears are playing a lot better. I think
it's big on the defense, though. Offense hasn't changed much.
No, their defense is. I'm not saying they're not playing good. They're playing a lot better right now since Fields came back from his injury.
Yeah. Check down.
I just don't.
Justin, check down Fields.
They're not good enough to make the playoffs, and if they do
No.
make the playoffs, they're going to get blown out.
Absolutely.
The 2 seed
Which
will
is-
kill them. The 2 seed will be
And
the
then-
Eagles, the
yeah.
Cowboys, the Niners.
You put the Bears win out. Okay, Eberflus is your coach next year still.
Not
What?
even that.
Don't
Like,
even.
I think if they lose out, I think Eberflus is still going to be back.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. Look what he's done. He's won back-to-back
They
games for
better-
the first time.
No,
as the
well,
Bears head
there's
coach.
4 games left,
Yes, 4 games.
and they play the Cardinals. I think they lose to the Browns and Packers.
Yeah.
If they don't go 2-2,
I think they'll lose to the Cardinals.
if they lose to the Cardinals,
Dude, the Cardinals,
They-
they're not terrible.
they need to go
But-
2-2.
Yeah.
If they go 7-10 this year, because they have 8 losses, right? The Bears.
Yeah, I think so.
If they go 7-10, it's not a. Bears fans thought they were going to be good, but that's not a bad year, man.
Yeah, it's not.
I didn't think their schedule was very favorable this year. They didn't really have that hard of a schedule, but I just didn't think they were like. I didn't think you could go from the worst team in the league
Mm-hmm.
to a playoff team.
Yeah,
They're still a couple years. Like next
gonna
year,
be
they could be
similar-
the playoff team.
because it's like the Lions.
Yeah, you can't just go worst to worst to best.
Yeah.
It's
It's
bottom to top. You can't do that.
exactly.
It's too hard to do that in the NFL.
Yeah. All right. Last thing for the NFL is we're gonna go over this week's games predictions, and obviously last night Raiders just blew out the Chargers.
Let's do this
63-0.
rapid fire here.
Rapid fire.
Just kind of say a game. We'll say who wins.
Vikings Bengals. I'm going Bengals. It's just
Yeah, I'll go Bengals. They're playing a lot better.
they are.
Bengals. That's Saturday, right?
Yeah. These are the Saturday games.
3 Saturday games.
So we got Bengals beating the Vikings. Steelers Colts.
Steelers.
I got Steelers too.
I think I don't know if Mitch is
just-
still playing, but I don't
think
really care.
That
I think
Steelers
Steelers
defense,
win.
Minshew is gonna have problems. That defense is excellent.
TJ Watt will have a touchdown.
Yeah.
Strip sack touchdown.
Yeah.
And they'll win
And the 1-7.
10-3.
And then we got Broncos Lions. I'm going Broncos, man.
I'm gonna go Lions just because I think the Lions. I think Dan Campbell. I trust Dan Campbell to
Yeah.
motherfuck him a little bit. I think the Broncos are playing a lot better, but I don't know. I'll take the
Yeah.
Lions. Is it in Detroit?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll take the Lions.
Then we got Sunday games. We got Bears Browns.
I'll go Browns. Defense wins championships
Yep.
in the NFL.
That's true.
I think Myles Garrett will have 3 sacks.
We got Bucks Packers. I'm gonna go Packers, obviously.
Yeah, I'll take the Packers, even though I think it's gonna be a good game. Close.
Yeah, I think so too.
Baker is playing a lot better.
He
so.
is. I think
Bucks aren't that bad.
They're not. The Bucks really aren't that bad.
Defense is pretty good. I'll go Packers.
Yeah.
That's a bad loss they just had. They'll win.
Fucking Tommy DeVito's dog shit. He's not.
He's not a good quarterback.
I just can't believe it, honestly. Then we got Texans Titans. I think I'm gonna go.
I'll
with the
go Titans.
Yeah.
I don't know if C.J. Stroud's playing.
Yeah, we got that's.
I just don't think the Texans are going to make the playoffs. It's a great year, though.
It is.
What a
really
year
good
for them.
Very
After
good year.
last year, C.J. Stroud's a very good quarterback. If he's not playing, even if he plays, I think the Titans. I think the Titans will win.
Yeah. Then we got Jets Dolphins.
I'm gonna go Jets just
too.
because I want the Jets to win.
Yeah, I
I
want
don't
the
know if
Jets.
they'll actually win, but
Um,
I'll go Jets, even though the Dolphins will probably
it
win.
it relies on Zach Wilson. How's he gonna? If he plays like how he did last week, the Jets will win this game.
Oh, if he plays like that last week, the rest of the year they're gonna win out.
Yeah, they are for sure.
But I don't know. I think a lot of people are thinking, well, look at the game they played on Black Friday. The Dolphins killed them. So
Yeah.
I think the Jets actually have a chance to win.
That's
I think
true.
it's going to be a very close game, but I'll go Jets just
And-
because.
Yeah. Then we got Chiefs Patriots. I'm going Patriots.
Yeah, I'll go Chiefs. I don't see them losing
I d-
back to back.
Yeah. Yeah. Have they lost 2 games in a row?
They have wait.
Yeah.
They lost the Packers, right?
Yeah.
I don't see them losing 3-1.
Yeah, honestly, I just don't see Andy Reid losing 3 games in a row.
No.
It's happened, but this late in the season,
I mean,
I'm
they've
gonna have to
lost
go
3
Chiefs,
out of
but
their last 4.
yeah,
They lost to the Eagles. They beat the Raiders.
yeah, I don't
Lost to the
think
Packers and Bills. Yeah, I think
I think it could be a good game.
I think it's gonna be
potentially.
close though. I don't. The spread's 8. I don't think they'll cover
Yeah,
8. But who knows? Maybe they'll blow them out. But I could see the Patriots defense stopping them a little bit. They're winning by like 6-4 or something.
Yeah, we got another kind of shit game. 2 shit teams, I think, and that's Giants Saints. That's kind of a tough game to pick. I'm gonna have to pick the Saints though.
Yeah, I'll go Saints because I'm sick of Tommy DeVito.
Yeah,
so I'll go Saints.
I'm sick of him too.
Even though Derek Carr blows.
Dude,
But I'll go Saints.
I thought the Saints were gonna be pretty good this year. They're dog shit.
Yeah, he's bad.
We got next game Falcons Panthers. It's kind of tough.
I'll go Falcons, even though I think Bryce Young is a good quarterback. He just doesn't have much around him.
Yeah.
And I feel bad because they threw him into the fire
Yeah.
with a bad team, similar to Trevor Lawrence, his first year in Jacksonville.
That's true.
Bad coach, bad team, didn't work out. Next year made the playoffs. So
Yep.
we'll see. We'll see with him, but
Yeah.
I'll go Falcons.
Yeah, I'll go Falcons too.
Arthur Smith is coaching for his job, I think. So
Yeah. Then we got Commanders, Rams. I'm going Rams.
Rams big.
It's easy. That's an easy one.
Rams are making
Don't
the
really need to
playoffs.
explain. Niners, Cardinals. I'll go Niners. Cowboys, Bills. This is gonna be a good game. I think the Cowboys get it done.
I'll go Cowboys. Bills they're a good football team.
I
think the Cowboys are just better.
Yeah, I think Josh Allen's gonna throw 2 interceptions, and one of them's going up.
Darren Bland is
yeah.
gonna have a pick 6.
Then we got Ravens, Jags. This could be a decent game.
I'm going
man.
Jags.
Yeah.
Jags had a bad loss.
Yep.
Last week, bad loss. They
I
lost to
think
the
the Jags
Bengals,
win,
right? That was their game last week.
No, that was 2 weeks. That was a Monday night game.
Who'd they lose to last week?
Last week, I believe they
lost to a
actually
bad
won.
team, right?
I think they won. Oh, they lost to the Browns.
Yeah,
They did.
they lost to the. I'm
They were
not
winning at one point.
I'll take the Jags just because
'Cause-
everyone's high on the Ravens. I think they should have lost last week to the Rams. The Rams outplayed them, but
Yeah.
the Rams gave them that
I
game.
mean, man, the Jags, they put up points, man.
Yeah,
They have
I
a
think
lot of 30-plus point games this year, man.
I'll take the Jags. What's the spread on that game?
Let's see.
Jags Ravens.
Jags Ravens got -3.5.
Ravens.
Baltimore.
Yeah, I'll take the Jags. Jags
I'm
win
taking
that game.
Jags. Last game, which is Monday night, Eagles Seahawks. I'm picking the Seahawks, man.
I'm gonna go Eagles just because I could see them just stomping the Seahawks because I don't think the Seahawks are that good. But
Yeah.
I did see the stat. The Eagles have lost 7 in a row in Seattle.
Usually that means the Eagles are gonna win them, though. So
I could see them just absolutely stomping the Seahawks. But also, I could see DK Metcalf having a good game because that Eagles defense is not
Oh, yeah,
good.
it's
They're
not.
not getting to the quarterback the way everyone thought they were going to. Their secondary's bad.
yeah,
CeeDee Lamb exposed. All these receivers have exposed their secondary.
yeah.
Darius, what was his nickname on
Slay.
Sunday Night Football?
Fuck. It was like Darius something Slay Jr.
Yeah, like he's not good. I'm sorry.
He's not.
He can
He's also
talk.
dog shit in Madden.
Well,
There's a video game, but
yeah,
This is
I'll go Eagles, but I could see the Seahawks winning that game.
all
But
right.
I think the Eagles are going to blow them out.
So that wraps it up for NFL. Last thing we talk about is going to be college football playoffs predictions. So
Yeah.
just basically who's going to win.
So
what's gonna
first
happen.
game in the Rose Bowl, Bama, Michigan. Bama, I think, is going to beat
Yeah.
the fucking shit out of Michigan.
Me too. I think Bama's going to
Dude,
destroy him, and then Harbaugh is going to go to
to
the
the
NFL.
Chargers.
Chargers.
Bama is just a better football team. They're
They
more
are.
physical.
Yep.
Everyone can say, "Oh, Michigan, they run the ball, this, that, whatever." they haven't played a team like Bama.
Nope.
They haven't really played. Michigan every year plays 2 tough games, and it's really only 1 tough game because Penn State's never that good. They're overrated always. Michigan only plays Ohio State every year.
Yeah.
They play nobody. Next year's gonna be different though because the Big Ten's changing.
Yeah.
But I think Bama blows them out.
Me too.
And then I'll take Texas, and I'll have Bama.
I'll take Texas too. Yep.
A Bama Texas rematch.
Yep.
For the national championship, and
I think Texas Washington's going to be a good game, but I think Texas will get it done.
Yeah, I think it's going to be high scoring.
Bama's going to win it all.
But Bama Texas rematch, Bama's going to get the revenge. Yeah. Never bet against Nick Saban in the playoff.
Yep.
I'll go with Nick Saban in Alabama.
Me too. All right.
Roll Tide.
Yeah. Roll Tide. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, Willie.
All right, so
Blitz, Bama, Blitz.
That's gonna wrap it up for the podcast today.
Wait, 2 more. Two more bets. If anyone wants to bet.
Okay.
For this weekend.
Okay.
They're both Saturday. Louisiana Lafayette Ragin' Cajuns are gonna win their bowl game on Saturday. And Colby Covington is going to win the welterweight championship. He's gonna beat the shit out of Leon Edwards. So Colby Covington, they're both underdogs. So Louisiana Lafayette is an underdog bet, and Colby Covington to win against Leon Edwards.
Okay. Guess those are the picks for Saturday, huh?
The people's champ, Colby Covington. General Covington.
Yeah. He's going to win.
Yes, sir.
Colby.
All right.
That's going to wrap it up. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
And if you're not, fuck you.
Yeah. And then we'll see you next Saturday for episode 2 of Jimmy's and Joe's.